You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know one line.
From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 60. My bad, I had the outro running. Whoops. That was an accident. Good, great, grand morning to y'all, man. Good, great, grand morning. Y'all know what time it is. The doctor's in the house. Yes, sir. We are here today, man. We have a little bit to talk about, a little something to talk about. A little something. Before we get to it, though, start off with the prayer and get our day right. I got all types of scratches on me, man, from the beach, man. Those sandflies ain't no joke, bro. All types of cuts and bumps and stuff because of freaking me scratching it. Anyway, let's get right to it, man. Please bow your heads and join me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you, Lord, for this wonderful day, Lord, as we are in the end of the work week, on this Friday. Lord, please guide us into and have a good day at work if we're going to work, or if we have a day off. Please, Lord, let's enjoy our day of relaxation. But either way, Lord, let us push away the stress and give it to you and relinquish it to you. Relinquish our burdens, relinquish our worries, and just approach this Friday with a peace of mind into the weekend, and enjoy the weekend, Lord, and and all of His blessings that you have given us, and let us experience, from the breathing of the air to the smelling of the flowers to the gazing in the sunset, and let's just enjoy the many wonders and beauties and blessings and joys of life, Lord, and approach this weekend with a joyful spirit. And not only appreciating our blessings, but acknowledging our blessings, and even looking for the small ones too that are often overlooked. because I do believe that when you're more grateful and appreciative for your blessings, it welcomes more blessings that come your way, Lord. So we thank you for all that you've done. We pray for health, mentally, spiritually, financially, physically, and not just for us individually, but also our families. Through Jesus' name, amen. And our neighbors, amen. Amen, amen. So let's get right to it, man. Let's get to it. So there's some news in regards to some fights coming up, man. TMT, you know, the money team, he's actually will be working with Danny Garcia again. His website is DMDB, I believe. Yeah, so they'll have a fight coming up on November 30th in Atlantic City in Big Jersey, you know what I'm saying, New Jersey, featuring 3 prospects or 3 rookies, 3 up-and-coming fighters from the money team, from Floyd Mayweather's team. It's Joseph Brown, Carmel Moulton, which is probably the most popular one, and Jersey Vargas, who they call Tank 2.0, but they also call that one guy John something Tank 2.0 too. So there's a whole lot of different versions of Tank, you know. I wish they wouldn't do that, because it's like when they have a young basketball player and they say, oh, he's the next Michael Jordan, like currently Anthony Edwards, you know what I'm saying, and so many players before them, and you know, they compare this person to that person. Let them be the best versions of themselves, you know, because sometimes it's good to be compared, because it's an honor and a blessing to be compared to guys that are great or doing great things or accomplish great things, but at the same time it can be a hindrance as well, as because if you mess up or you don't pan out to be as great, you could be good and still fall short, and then, you know what I'm saying, they'll make it seem like it's a bad thing. So, but anyway, we have Jersey Vargas on there, Carmel Moulton and Joseph Brown, all 3 upcoming prospects from the money team. So it seems like Danny Swift Garcia is not his first time collaborating with the money team, right? He had a show before where he had Carmel Moulton on there, so apparently they're gonna be working hand in hand, which is dope, you know what I'm saying? When fighters reach back like Floyd, you know, I don't think Floyd Mayweather gets enough credit for how much he reaches back and helps the next generation of fighters or promoters, in this case with Danny Garcia. And you know, it's probably a mutually beneficial thing, you know, like Floyd has a platform where he could have his showcase his fighters, and Danny Garcia has fighters to fill his card, you know what I'm saying? So my guy Mike in the building, man. Yes, sir. He said, salute DBT in chat, and thank you for the prayers. It's definitely helpful for us to start our, man. Hey, God bless you, Mike. I appreciate you coming through, man. You know what I'm saying? Big homie Mike, man. I appreciate you, bro. You know how it goes, man. Love and respect, man. Salutations, brethren. Appreciate you coming through as always. But yeah, so that's just one little thing I wanted to update on was the fights we have coming through on November 30th. And November 30th also, we have some fights in England, right? We have the pretty good fight between, well, I think it's going to be a good fight, between Sonny Edwards and Galal Yafai. That's an all-English affair. So that fight's going to be good as well. So November 30th is looking pretty good. That's not this weekend, obviously. It's next weekend, the following, you know what I'm saying? Also my Mama Doc's birthday too, so, you know. But yeah, so I think November 30th is looking good, man. Looking good for boxing in general, you know what I'm saying, for American boxing and England boxing and boxing in general. So we have some things to tune into, you know, and so that's a good thing. Also too, I want to speak on Khalil Cole, you know, speaking of the Danny Garcia, he's from Philly, you know. I know Khalil Cole, I don't know if he's from Philly or Jersey, I can't remember, but he's from that area, you know. And I was watching something with Eddie Hearn today, and he was talking about Khalil Cole losing, and he was just very blunt, and I think you need to hear that. He was like, yeah, man, the guy's conditioning wasn't good, obviously, and Manuel Gallegos wasn't playing, you know. So I think hopefully, like I said, at the moment it happened, I said I think Khalil Cole could bounce back, but he's going to have a hard, long road ahead of him. He got to answer some questions, because it's one thing to lose, but when you lose your first loss by stoppage, and it's to a guy that you were expected to beat, it's it's a big eye opener, man. Make you answer some questions. You know what I'm saying? Can you bounce back? Do you want to bounce back? Do you have it in you? You know what I'm saying? But at least, you know, what Eddie Hearn was like, yeah, the guy wasn't in shape. You know, at least you could point to something that would probably help your performance if you improve that, you know. So I think there's good and bad to take from that, you know. And the good news is that you can bounce back, but at the same time, man, you got to approach it. You got to respect these guys, man, because hey, you never know, you know. And that's an example. Khalil Cole, everybody was saying, oh yeah, this guy's this and this guy's that at the light heavyweight division. And you know what I'm saying? And hey, you got to lock in, man. People coming to fight. Got to give people a chance to be themselves, man. You rush him into it. Now he's like a disappointment. But we'll see how he bounced back. And his girlfriend, O'Shea Jones, I believe is her name. She has a fight coming up too, man. She's a beast too. So we'll see how she does. Another undefeated fighter. But yeah, let's get to the main topic now. It's Kambosos. George Kambosos has said that he's moving up to 140. You know, George Kambosos is a champion at 135. You know, probably, don't quote me on this, but I believe, no, you could quote me on this. He's the most decorated Aussie fighter, right? Most decorated Australian fighter in recent memory for sure. You know, definitely Costa Zoo. I don't know. Is Costa Zoo? Costa Zoo's like Russian though, right? I know he relocated to Australia, but he's like a Russian. Oh, yeah, he's Russian Australian. So Costa Zoo's definitely decorated as well. But Kambosos had a good run. You know, he lost twice to Devin Haney, and he lost most recently to Lomachenko. So he has 3 losses. But he's talking about moving up to 140, and his biggest win is probably against Teofimo Lopez. And it's funny that he called out Teofimo Lopez. He said, "Hey man, I invite you and I welcome you for your rematch. You can get it back in blood. You know what I'm saying? You get your revenge, man, at 140." And I think that at 140, I think that benefits Teofimo Lopez. I think that greatly benefits Teofimo Lopez. Like George Kambosos, I like George Kambosos. I always thought he was good. I think people shit on him excessively. I'm not saying he was the best champion ever at 135. I think he was the weakest of the champions, but he's definitely a formidable fighter. I think people go overboard with calling him Kambosos and all types of bums and stuff like that. People are just disrespectful. He's definitely a champion. I don't think he's as good as the other champions at 135. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you consider like Tank and Shakur and Lomachenko, obviously. And then you talk about the other guys like Devin Haney and Teofimo. Even though he beat Teofimo has had the better career so far. But I do think he's a formidable fighter, and I look forward to seeing him at 140, man. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he'll be that good at 140, but I don't know, you know, just because, you know, he's been struggling, you know, even with his win against Maxie Hughes. I think he's like 1-3 in his last 4 fights, right? Yeah, I think so, because his last fight was against Lomachenko. He lost by stoppage by 11th round. He lost to Maxie Hughes, and then there's 2 fights before that were. Wait, hold on. Was that Devin Haney or Teofimo? I can't remember the order. Yeah, I believe it was Devin Haney, right? He lost twice to Devin Haney back to back, and that was his last 4 fights, right? Yeah, I'm not tripping. Yeah. So Lomachenko, he lost. He beat Maxie Hughes, which was by majority decision, which was controversial, and then he lost twice to Devin Haney, and then he beat Teofimo Lopez before that. So yeah, he's 1-3 in his last 4 fights. So that's not good, but you know the thing that worries me is that he's not really considered that big for 135, you know, so going to 140 is going to be guys even bigger, but maybe he can handle the weight. Maybe he was draining himself. I don't know, but I do like the fact that he welcomed the Teofimo Lopez rematch, and I think it's smart for him too, because not only is Teofimo a champion, but also he's probably the biggest name for Kambosos, right? He can't fight Devin Haney because Devin Haney already beat him twice. No one would be interested in that, but Teofimo, you could sell this as not only a title fight, but also a revenge fight, rematch fight. You know, and it's going to put more money in George Kambosos' pocket. So I think that's by design. He should call out Teofimo because, yeah, for his career-wise, as far as career-wise. And then if he beats him again, oh, man. If he beats Teofimo again and beats him at 140, oh, man. Not only will he be a champion, obviously, but that just skyrocket his profile again. So, yeah, I think it's a smart move by Kambosos. And you have to think he has the advantage from beating him before, you know. But I think Teofimo would win in the rematch, especially at 140. That's just my personal opinion. But I would love to see it, man. I'd love to see him go to 140 because I don't think he's over it. I don't think his career is over with. I think he's only 31, 32, something like that, 31, 32 years of age. So I think George Kambosos has a lot more in the tank. But I don't know who he beats at 140, especially when you talk about the champions. Like him and Rayo would be a good fight, but I would lean towards Rayo. Him and Paro would be a good fight, but I definitely lean towards his countryman and Paro. I think Paro would beat the hell out of him. I ain't gonna lie. And who else is a champion? Alberto Puello. I don't think that's a good matchup at all stylistically. And then Teofimo Lopez. Like I said, you gotta give him a chance because he beat Teofimo already. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give him a chance there, and I do give him a chance, but I think Teofimo would win. But I don't trust Teofimo either, and I would be rooting for Kambosos. I'd definitely be rooting for Kambosos because you know I don't trust Teofimo and I don't like him. So I'd definitely be leaning towards Kambosos. I'm rooting for Kambosos, but I think that Teofimo would win the rematch. But yeah, man, we'll see, man. I think this 140-pound division just got even more interesting, right? Because you still have guys like Jack. I named the 4 champion: Alberto Puello, Rayo, Valenzuela, Liam Paro, Teofimo. You still got Devin Haney when he comes back. We're assuming he's staying at 140. You got Jack Catterall. You got Arnold Barbosa still. You got Jose Carlos Ramirez, who he just lost to Arnold Barbosa. So his stock went down, but he's still there. Who else at 140? I said Jack Catterall. You still got Andy Hiroka. You know what I'm saying? The Ghanaian Japanese fighter. who last beat Ishmael Barroso. So there's a lot of fighters at 140, man. It's still a good deep division. I know I'm missing some people, but I'm not gonna name them all. But you know what I'm saying. Good morning, Doc. Hey, good morning, George, my guy, the last Patriot in the building. Yeah, so I think that 140 just got a little hotter with the presence of George Kambosos, man. You know, and I just think it'll be very difficult. But hey, if it's easy, it ain't worth it, right? You know, that's what they say. If it's easy, it ain't worth it. So I think George Kambosos, you know, I think I like to see how he does at 140, man. I think he'll be a pretty formidable fighter, and at the end of the day, it'll be a good challenge for a guy like Andy Hiroka, right? That let's say Andy Hiroka fights him. That's a good. If he could beat George Kambosos, that's a good resume buffer, right, and builder, you know, because then he'd be his best win. I think right now is Ishmael Barroso, old man Barroso, Venezuelan fighter. There's no shame in that, but you know he was an older fighter, and when that fight was made, I didn't like it, man. I was like, they just trying to showcase a young bull, from Japan, you know what I'm saying? Andy Hiroka, I didn't like that fight, but you know, hey, you got to if you're fighting, you got to fight, right? So can't pull any punches. You don't play boxing, right? But yeah, so that's what I want to talk about with George Kambosos. I want to move on to Claressa Shields. You see Claressa Shields there, and man, this right here, you know me, I don't really like to knock anybody, you know what I'm saying? But I think some knocking is definitely necessary right now. So Claressa Shields, I would say I think that she's the GOAT. Some people think other people are the GOAT. Layla Ali, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. No problem with that. I'm not here to argue about it or nothing like that. I just think that Claressa Shields, I think it's hard to argue against her accomplishments, right? Now, from a personal standpoint, like, you know, when she be tweeting and stuff like that, I can see how people would be annoyed by her, man, because sometimes she seems petty and sometimes she just seems extra, you know. But at the same time too, if you look past that, her work in the ring, you gotta applaud her, you gotta salute it, you gotta respect it, you know. Like even with Devin Haney, I'm not the biggest Devin Haney fan, or even Teofimo, right? I'm not a Teofimo fan at all, but I can't take away his accomplishments in the ring, right? He's still, Teofimo was still the longest reigning champion at 140. He had a great showing against Lomachenko, a great showing against Josh Taylor. Devin Haney, I don't really care for, but he's the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era on the male side now, because Gabriela Fedora eclipsed that. But you know, and he still has some good wins as well, you know. And it doesn't change the fact that if I'll room for Ryan Garcia, but it doesn't change the fact that Ryan Garcia cheated, you know what I'm saying? So I keep objectivity whether I like somebody or dislike somebody, you know what I'm saying? I don't really get personal when it comes to the competition part. So same deal with Claressa. Even if you don't really care for her personality, you should still not take away her accomplishments, you know? And so I just thought it was funny because, you know, today, why do I like Liam Parle, chat? Those of you that have been in the chat, you know I like Liam Parle. One of the major reasons why I like Liam Parle is because I watched the interview way back when he was asked about his sparring with Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, and he didn't disclose any information. He said it was just good work, and the interviewer was prodding and poking and probing him to try to disclose the finer details of the sparring. He was like, no, man, it was just good work, you know. I don't really talk about sparring because that's what happens behind closed doors, and I love that, you know what I'm saying? I respect that, you know. I think that's dope. It's like Vegas, right? I used to box at the amateur level, and even I know is sparring is like Vegas. What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. What goes on in sparring stays in sparring. So I think the similar thing is a similar thing is applicable to DMs, right? If someone DMs you, don't disclose it. Why are you exposing it? Why are you putting out DMs? It's supposed to be personal. It's supposed to be direct messages between you and the person you're talking to. Now, with that being said, now if you're exposing a DM or releasing a DM or revealing a DM, a personal message, with the purpose of proving your innocence or exonerating something that's been accused, if you've been falsely accused of something or people are lying on you, then of course, you know, you do what you got to do and release the information to show that you're not something that you are accused of, you know what I'm saying? So I get it. There's a purpose and a place for everything. But if you're just doing it just to gossip, that's I'm not saying that you're a hoe, but that's very hoe-ish, you know what I'm saying? So it came out this past couple of days, you know, with the big fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, and the undercard being Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, which for a lot of folks was a main event. For me, you know, most boxing heads, for me it was a main event. and they had a groundbreaking viewership. Not saying it was the most. Some people are exaggerating. Some people are disregarding some other people's accomplishments, like Muhammad Ali right here, amongst others. But it was still a great amount of people that watched it, especially for women's boxing, right? Because it was a co-main. But it's so crazy because when I was in here and I was talking about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, I've always said, yes, Mike Tyson was the person that was attracting the most viewership, garnering the most viewership. He's the one that carried the card from a viewership standpoint, popularity standpoint. But I still had to give Jake Paul credit because Jake Paul's actually in the ring with him, and it's his event. It's his promotions. And without Jake Paul, there's no Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Just like without Mike Tyson, there's no Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, obviously. So, you still got to give him credit. Just like Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. You got to give Daniel Dubois some credit, even though Anthony Joshua, we know, was the main attraction, and he's the main reason why Wembley sold out. Not Daniel Dubois, but he was still the partner, right? The dance partner. But when I said that, people would come in the stream, like my guy Mansa Musa, shout out to Mansa Musa, he would say, hold on, Doc. Mike Tyson is the person that was the draw. He's the one that garnered all the viewership. So my point is that if you're hesitant to give Jake Paul credit for the viewership, and he was in the ring with Mike Tyson, how the hell are you going to give credit to Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano for the views they got? You see how that's contradictory? And if you're going to take away Daniel Dubois' credit from contributing to the massive viewership and attendance for the Wembley Stadium against Anthony Joshua, he shared the ring with Anthony Joshua. He beat the hell out of Anthony Joshua. How are you going to give Amanda and Katie Taylor the credit for the viewership that they received when they're not the main event? So I'm gonna catch y'all up just in case you're unfamiliar or what's been going on is unbeknownst to you. So this guy Cameron, who I don't like to go in on anybody like that because I still salute people for their success and stuff like that. But this is the second time he done misstepped, right? The first time was when he had Teofimo on his broadcast, when Teofimo said some very racially insensitive things towards certain people of a certain demographic and ethnicity, and they were up there laughing about it. Now, whatever tickles your fancy, that's on you. Whatever you find humorous, But it's just that if somebody, let's say a woman was, let's say Asian. Let's say that I was disrespecting a Asian person. The last thing an Asian podcast would have me on say the same thing that I said disrespectful towards those Asians or Hispanics, and then they would be laughing with me about it. They wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that's okay. That's on them. But that's the first infraction with regards to Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that they could at least try to correct him, or at least they don't have to do it in a vicious way. You like, yeah, man, that was very insensitive. I told him where he's wrong at. You know what I'm saying? And at least stand on that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being so whimsical about it and thinking it's a joke. You know, I thought that was very childish and weak. So this is them being childish and weak again. So Cameron and some other people, not just Cameron, but we gonna focus on Cameron because he's the one that exposed the DMs. There were people are wrongfully saying that this was the most viewed women's fight in women's boxing history, and Claressa Shields was like, hold on. That's not true. That goes to me because me and Savannah Marshall and I, we had the most viewership as women. And people are trying to manipulate it and turn it into hate on Amanda Serrano, especially Amanda Serrano coming on. She's very misinformed. No, there's nothing hating about that because, like I said, people don't even give Jake Paul credit for bringing in the views. They give it to Mike Tyson, and he shared the ring with Mike Tyson. So you were on the same card with Mike Tyson. So obviously, you are going to be a beneficiary of the views that Mike Tyson brought in too. I'm still going to give you your credit and still going to celebrate it, but to say that it's bigger than an event that was headlined by women, that's disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? Like a perfect example is like if you're tracking the views of I don't know, movie trailers, right? And commercials, and you put on one commercial during at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday during soap opera, and then you put on another movie trailer or commercial. You put on another commercial at the beginning of the premiere of some big movie like Black Panther 2, and then you say, oh, this commercial was viewed more times than this commercial. Well, obviously, because that commercial was under something that was more anticipated and it was during prime time and it had a bigger audience and all this other stuff. So you have to factor these things in. And that's all she was saying. All she was saying was that, hey, Savannah Marshall and I were headlining. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano were not. So to compare those two directly is very disingenuous and is misleading. She said that's misinformation. And she told Cameron that, and Cameron released the DMs when she was correcting him, she wasn't just coming out and hating on Amanda Serrano or Katie Taylor or nothing. She was just correcting him on his misinformation. If you pay attention, when ESPN dropped the best women of all time as far as the GOATs go, they left her off. And she's one of the biggest, most accomplished fighters in boxing. They put Serena Williams on there. They put shout out to Serena Williams. They put Katie Ledecky on there. Shout out to Katie Ledecky. Oh, I'm gonna. So Serena Williams is for tennis. Shout out to her. Katie Ledecky's for swimming. Shout out to her. I think they put Simone Biles for gymnastics. Shout out to her. And I think they put somebody else on there, but they didn't put Claressa Shields on there. She was like, hold on. And then another time they were talking about undisputed champions in boxing and as far as Olympic gold medalists. They said that Olympics, the U.S. hasn't won any gold in the Olympics, but Claressa Shields did win gold in the Olympics. So what I'm saying is that before you jump the gun and say that she's hating, you have to be sensitive to the fact that she does get disrespected a lot and she gets disregarded a lot. So that's why she is ultra sensitive. That's why in the title I said that Claressa Shields is acting like a woman, because most people, not just women, are sensitive. Most people in general are sensitive, but women have a higher sensitivity, right? But these dudes are acting like straight bitches, bro. And like I tell people all the time, the word bitch is not gender specific. It's only gender specific when you talk about dogs and canines. Because if you think about your life, I guarantee you there's more boy bitches that than girl bitches. Anybody that owe you money, it's probably a boy. Anybody that lied and told on you and snitched on you for their own personal gain, it's probably a boy. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that did you dirty, you know what I'm saying, tried to throw a stone at you and hide their hand, it's probably a boy. Just think about your past experiences. You probably dealt with more boy bitches than girl bitches. I just want to say that. We got my boy Ryan in the building. What's good, brethren? My guy, Boys Who Cry. What's good, brethren? Teofimo father going to 140. Call Kambosos Teofimo father is crazy. Facts. He said, yeah, Jake Paul tried to make the Taylor Serrano headline. Yeah, facts. I mean, Netflix didn't want it, right? And if they did headline, what does that got to do with the conversation that they didn't headline? I think Netflix should have headlined. I mean, he probably did. Yeah, Jake Paul is great for women's boxing, but they didn't headline, and if they would have headlined, there's no doubt that it wouldn't have garnered that much viewership. That's what I'm talking about, Ryan. I'm not sure that angle that you're coming from, but yeah. So like with Claressa Shields is like, you got to understand that that's the position that she's coming from. She used to be. She's almost. What's the word I'm looking for? She's almost. What's the word I'm looking for? She's almost conditioned to be on the edge when it comes to people taking away her credit. So when Cameron came out and said this was the most viewed women's fight ever, she said, hold on, that's not really a fair assessment, because you're comparing somebody who co-mained under the legendary iconic Mike Tyson with views that were all built from the ground up, from a, from a from a ground level marketing campaign, you know what I'm saying? So they did it for base level and they headline. So that is different, and if you don't acknowledge that, either one, you're just dumb and you don't know what you're talking about, or two, maybe you shouldn't be talking about the topic, because it's unbeknownst to you. So with Claressa Shields, people saying that she's hating it, it's not hating at all. She just literally just corrected Cameron. So the fact that I say this, man, if you're a man, and in my personal opinion, and you're releasing DMs for your own personal gain, I mean,
Nigga, you's a bitch!
And I will also say this, if you're a man that's releasing DMs and you're lying,
Nigga, you's a bitch!
and if you're a man that's releasing DMs and you're not telling the entire truth to make somebody look bad,
Nigga, you's a bitch!
and if you're a man that does this repeatedly just to down a specific group for, once again, for views or likes from random people you don't know,
Nigga, you's a bitch!
So I gotta say that, and that's just the truth, man. So anybody that's manipulating the situation, you're soft and you're goofy. I don't care if you're rich. You could be rich and lame. You could be popular and lame. You could be good at talking and lame. You could be an athlete and lame. So I like that happens all the time, man. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean that you're any less of a lame. And I really do feel like it's happening habitually in regards to certain people like Cameron releasing wrong information just for them to get a headline, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think Claressa Shields is out of pocket at all. I don't think she's wrong at all, and I think that she is justified, because if you compare, like I gave you the example with the trailer, it's just like if somebody performs at the Super Bowl, during halftime, let's say we have Chris Brown during halftime at the Super Bowl, and he gets more views than Usher at Las Vegas on a Tuesday afternoon, and you compare those two, is that fair? Well, obviously the person that performed during the Super Bowl is going to get more views than the person performing on a Tuesday at 8 o'clock in Vegas. That's just common sense. It's not a fair or accurate or direct comparison. That's all she's saying. Like, if you were to put Claressa Shields, I'm going to be honest, bro. I'm pretty sure Mario Barrios probably eclipsed more views than he ever had. Is it because of him and Abel Ramos? Or is it because he was on the undercard of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? Now, him fighting Tank probably got a lot of views too, you know, and that was a headline. So that's accurate for saying that's his most views, regardless of which one had more views. The one that's a more accurate depiction of his views is the one where he headlined. So yeah, he said, I think Taylor's first fight also was the most viewed. So they smashed their own record. But yeah, Cam is wild for that. Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I just don't understand, like, releasing DMs and she's just correcting you to make it, and then try to manipulate situations. She's hating on Serrano. How is that hate on Serrano? Like, they were literally to compare Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall's fight, and for viewership, and them having the record for 2 million, to compare that to somebody who had some other views, and like Ryan said, Amanda Serrano had some high views, which was 1.5. That's a more accurate depiction of how much views that she had in her fight when she headlined. When Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall headlined, that's different to compare a headline event with a co-main event under Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Like I said, the perfect example is when I was giving Jake Paul credit for the event, and my guy Mansa Musa came in and said, hold on, Doc, Mike Tyson was on that card. That's Mike Tyson bringing all the viewership. So if you're not going to give Jake Paul the credit, and he shared the ring with Mike, how are you going to give anybody on the undercard credit and they're sharing the card with Mike? It just doesn't make sense, man. So that's what she's saying. I don't see how anybody could see this as hate. She didn't say that she don't like Amanda Serrano or Katie Taylor or they don't deserve what they got. She just said that it's very inaccurate to compare what her and Savannah Marshall did as a main event to somebody who co-mained under iconic, legendary Mike Tyson. If you can't see that, then it's not that. I don't think people are that dumb. You're just choosing to be in. Once again, you're trying to get a headline. And if you're trying to get a headline off of exposing DMs that you had between you and a woman, I mean, in my opinion, that just means that,
Nigga, you's a bitch!
my boy Clone in the building. My guy Dub in the building. Did I say Ryan in the building already? My guy Ryan in the building. I think I did, but just in case. That's my guy right there, man. Shout out to Dub. Shout out to Clone. Go check out my boy Ryan, man. Ryan's gonna have a show today as well, so check him out, man. That's my guy right there, man. I really rock with him, man. Dope content creator. But yeah, man. Yeah, Ryan. So it's like, yeah, they smashed their own record, right? But it's not even about it's about being. My bad, Dub. I've been on board. Clone. But it's about being fair and accurate. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I say, that's why in the title I have like Claressa Shields is a woman, and these men are being women too. Like, because I'm not saying that men aren't sensitive. Yeah, men, we're all sensitive. We're human. Sensitivity is part of being human. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. But you know, especially Claressa Shields, when she is being sensitive to being excluded out of things, then you got to understand the history. And if you don't understand that history, then that's why you could. I still don't even think that even if you don't understand where she's coming from, how is that hate? That's just common sense, bro. You cannot compare the viewership of a main event, an event that was catered behind the women with the viewership of women on the undercard of a Mike Tyson event. That just, it literally doesn't make sense. I don't even understand how you can't understand that. So I'm really confused how anybody could manipulate or interpret what Claressa Shields says as hate. Even if she's wrong, like Ryan said, even if she doesn't have the most viewed, you cannot compare a main event views with the views of somebody who was on the co-main event of male fighters. Male boxing is bigger than female boxing. It's like, I think she even gave an example. It's like LeBron, right? It's like if you have the Las Vegas Aces versus the New York Liberty on Friday on their own show, and then they have their viewership, and then you try to compare the viewership of the Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky, and they're playing right before LeBron James and Steph Curry play, and the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. Which one do you think is gonna get more views? Obviously, the one that's on the that's coming on right before the Golden State and the Lakers, because the one that came on before the Golden State and the Lakers, the Indiana Fever, the Chicago Sky, they're not the main attraction. But the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty would be the main attraction. So they have to stand on their own, and that's on the backs of the women only. This one is standing on the backs of the women, so they're getting the views that the Fever and the Sky would get, but then also they're getting galvanized by the views that the Lakers and the Warriors would get. That's just common sense. So that's not even a direct comparison. So I don't even know what the confusion is, and how are people manipulating that as hate. Is no, bro, you're just wrong. You're misinformed, and that's what she's doing. She's just correcting you and saying, hold on, let's set the record straight and let's be correct. Because she even said that they're trying to rewrite and change history, and a lot of people do that. That's why they say history is broken up into his story, as in his story, the story being whoever is speaking on it, because they're going to interpret it how they want to. Depends on what kind of message they're trying to get out. When you try to misinterpret, not even misinterpret, when you try to manipulate and change and shape and form information, it usually happens when someone has an agenda. And it looks like the agenda is to shit on Claressa Shields, and that's not right. You know what I'm saying? So that's all she was saying. She didn't say anything wrong about a man. It has nothing to do with who's considered the best. It has nothing to do with anybody hating. It's just, that's just the truth. Do you think Claressa should fight a man? No, she shouldn't fight a man. I'm gonna be honest, George. I think that's stupid. I think that to me, Shields always crying. Yeah, you could say that she's always crying, but I mean, people are always doing it wrong too. I do agree that, like I said, if you don't like her personally, that's different. But what she said, there was nothing wrong with what she said. There's nothing crying about somebody exposing a DM and the DM is a lie. There's nothing wrong with somebody saying, hey man, no, that's incorrect, and what you're saying is not true. That's all she did in this situation. I'm not speaking on every situation, treetop boxing, but in this situation, that was wrong. History is usually dictated by the winner, especially when you talk about wars and stuff, Ramon. You're right about that. He said, do you think Claressa should fight a man? Nah, I think that, to me, it's like Ronda Rousey. Remember when Ronda Rousey was not only calling out a man, but she was calling out a man in another sport, and Floyd Mayweather? I didn't take it seriously. I feel like, and no disrespect to anybody who feels this way, but I must say how I feel. I feel like the dudes that take a woman calling you out seriously, you're a very insecure punk pussy of a man. I'm gonna be honest. That's how I feel about it. Like, you got to realize that women are in sports, they're just not as popular as their male counterparts, and males are more interesting as far as sports competition goes, for a lot of people. There's nothing wrong with that. So in order to stay relevant, they have to go the extra mile. I don't think that, as much as Claressa Shields says it, and she probably does believe it, because she's undefeated and she does she has whooped dudes before. Like, even Katie Taylor has whooped dudes before, if you know her history, having to disguise herself as a boy in order to compete and stuff like that. So she has they have beat up men before, but I don't think she's serious when she says she'll whoop like Keith Thurman or anything like that. So to answer your question, no, I don't think she should fight a man, and I wouldn't like to see it. And I think that any man that wants to see a woman get punched on, I think it's because,
Nigga, you's a bitch!
he said, remember Joe Rogan claiming, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Treetop. And I see that as an example of Joe Rogan trying to keep Ronda Rousey's name relevant. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that they really have the intention, but they have to work a little harder in regards to get people talking about them and considering them as competition. Like I said, Claressa Shields, you don't ever see, I mean, even if you want to be fair, doesn't Floyd Mayweather and have to sometimes when people don't give him his credit, he'd be like, hold on, who beat the most champions? Who did this? Floyd Mayweather does too. There's plenty of, even Conor McGregor would be like, hold on now, I had this much viewership with this person. Like, so other people do it too, but when a woman does it, most men, mostly insecure men, they get offended by it more because, with the woman, the stereotypical woman is supposed to be quiet and subservient, and then when they're not, they say, oh, oh, or when they are that way, they say, oh, you're too quiet. You got to step up more. You got to talk more. You got to be more confident. And then when they're confident, they say, oh, they're a bitch. They're a diva. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a double-edged sword. You can't it's like a lose-lose situation for the women. So I think that it's our job as consumers of a sport, fans of the sport, especially reporters of the sport, to be accurate. Because like I said, I gave you examples, and I don't know if you were here, but Claressa Shields does get disregarded a lot. Like I told you on ESPN when they dropped the quotes in sports, right? They dropped Serena Williams for tennis. They dropped Katie Ledecky for swimming, Simone Biles for gymnastics. I want to say they did somebody for track too. I don't remember who it was. I don't think it was. It might have been Shelly Ann Frazier, or maybe there's. I don't think it was Sha'Carri Richardson. It might have been somebody else, Alex Afila. Anyway, they did a lot of sports and they didn't do boxing. They left her off. You see what I'm saying? And she was like, hold on, a lot of people will see that as complaining, but no, she should get her credit. Why not? And even when they talked about American medals in boxing in the Olympics, they said that America hasn't won one since Andre Ward, I think, was the last person to get a gold medal. She's like, hold on now. No, I got a gold medal. How you disregard somebody's gold medal? You're ESPN, the worldwide leader of sports. How do you not know? How do you overlook a boxer's accomplishments when you talk about gold medals? And that's not hard to count or look up. That's very easy. It's not like you're looking up a statistics of game 65 in the 1985 season in the NBA. That's hard, but they do that fine. But you talking about gold medals, you should be celebrated for that. You should win it for her country. You know what I'm saying? So she does get overlooked a lot. They don't like Shields P. That's the way it is. Yeah, facts. That's what it is. And that's why I gave the example. I don't like Teofimo, but I don't take away his credit at 140. I say he's the most decorated champion at 140 right now, and he has the most longevity. I can't take away somebody's accomplishments. That's wrong. My personal feelings has nothing to do with what you accomplish in and out that ring, or inside that ring, or on that court, or on that field. It should have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't see me take away, like y'all said. I mean, like y'all know, I picked Ryan Garcia to beat Devin Haney. But I never say Devin Haney's not a good fighter. I never say that he's not the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Well, the youngest male, because Gabriela Fedor is the youngest overall now. But I never take away those accomplishments. And I bet on Ryan Garcia. But then when Ryan Garcia cheated, I didn't say, oh, he didn't cheat because I don't like Devin Haney. No, he still cheated. Like, you should be able to keep some objectivity if you like the sport and if you're coming from a genuine, honest perspective, as opposed to trying to control the narrative or push a certain agenda. That's the only time when you do stuff like that. You know, in my opinion, Taylor Serrano is superior to Shields. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, that's your opinion, and that's cool. But but that has not, once again, that has nothing to do with the conversation. The conversation was about viewership, and she corrected somebody who put out misinformation because they don't know what the hell they're talking about in Cameron. He said that the most viewership came from KD Taylor and Amanda Serrano, and it comes to women's sports, and that's just not accurate, and it's not a direct comparison, because what Claressa Shields' rebuttal was that her and Savannah Marshall were the headline. You cannot compare a headline with somebody that wasn't a headline, and the person that wasn't a headline, or the people that weren't headlines, were on the undercard of Mike Tyson. That doesn't make sense, bro. Because some people, it's so funny, like I said, people will not give Jake Paul credit for the viewership, and he shared the ring with Mike Tyson. So if you're not going to give Jake Paul credit, who fought Mike Tyson, how the hell are you going to give somebody else credit who was on the undercard of Mike Tyson for the viewership? It's literally contradictory and hypocrisy at its finest. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, so and to be, you know, that is your opinion with Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, but to me, that just shot to treetop boxing. You could like them more, but if you look at their accomplishments, there's no way you can, because see, if you said that you like, in my opinion, Taylor and Serrano are better than Shields, or I like them more, that's different. But to say superior, that's just inaccurate. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be your opinion, that's what you like. But to say that somebody's superior, and to have the accomplishments that Claressa Shields has, and have 2 losses like Amanda Serrano has, and the accomplishments that they have, to say that that's superior than Claressa Shields, I mean, I just think that's dishonest. Like, you just like them more. That's okay. You know, I like Ray Allen more than Michael Jordan. I can't say Ray Allen's superior to Michael Jordan. You know, Ray Allen's my favorite. Well, I like Michael Jordan a lot too, but I like Ray Allen more than I like Larry Bird. I can't say he's superior to Larry Bird because I like him more. I mean, just look at the accolades. Look at their accomplishments and accolades. It's very hard to justify that, but I mean, that's how you feel. That's cool. Duh, why you laughing, bro? I like Serrano a lot too. And I like Katie Taylor a lot too. I like them all, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter who you like, but that's the point. We're discussing numbers and a quantitative. We're making a quantitative comparison. You know, who you think is better, that's a qualitative comparison, and it leaves room for bias. The numbers, that's the beauty of numbers, right? There's still some manipulation there in numbers. You can't just go off of numbers and statistics. I'm not saying that, but it's harder to have feelings influence numbers. And that's what we're talking about in this conversation. Not about who you like more. It's about the truth, you know. Savannah Marshall, Claressa Shields was a headline, so you can't compare something that's not a headline to that. And Michaela Mayer, yeah, I like Michaela Mayer too. And Michaela Mayer has called out Katie Taylor. I think that's a tough fight. I lean towards. I like Michaela Mayer more, but I think Katie Taylor will win. I want to see Alicia Baumgartner and Amanda Serrano, or Alicia Baumgartner and Katie Taylor. That'd be a good one too. But shout out to all of them, man. Just give people their just due, man, and be honest, man. Just be honest, man. You know. Mayer got robbed versus Baumgartner. I don't think so. I don't think she got robbed. I actually I thought that was a close fight. I thought she got robbed against Natasha Jonas Treetop, in my personal opinion. I thought Alicia Baumgartner and Baumgarten is crazy. I think Alicia Baumgartner and Michaela Mayer was a close fight, but I thought the right person won. But she definitely, Michaela Mayer got robbed against Natasha Jonas. That's a fact. There's like, to me, I said it's only because it's women boxing and didn't get more noise and more coverage. But to me, that was one of the worst robberies this year. That and Oshiki Foster and Robson Kasesa. Those two were the biggest robberies to me this year. Michaela Mayer versus Natasha Jonas. Like, I don't know how Natasha Jonas won that. But like I said, fighters fight, judges judge. It's never the fighter's fault. It's not Natasha Jonas' fault. It's not Robson Kasesa's fault. Anybody that's a beneficiary of a robbery, it's not Tim Bradley's fault when they rob Pacquiao. It's the judges, you know. But yeah, I thought Alicia Baumgartner won that. But it was a close fight though, so I could see somebody having Michaela Mayer. But I did think Michaela Mayer. I was so happy that she beat Sandy Ryan. I was happy for her. And I did think that she got robbed by. Yeah, I'm drinking tea. Yep. I wish I was older, blacker, slightly taller. Wait, for who? wait, what? For who? For Michaela Mayer? Oh, because she like black guys? She might like white guys just because she with a black guy don't mean she only like black guys. Come on, man. Tighten up, bro. Which one do I think is more attractive? Baumgartner, Shields, or Mayer? That's tough. To me, it's between Baumgartner and Mayer. I think they're all attractive, but I'm probably attracted to, I don't know. That's tough between Baumgartner and Mayer for me. But to me, neither one of them, none of those three are the best looking to me. I think the best looking female boxers, I don't know. I don't know. Sky Nicholson is up there. Layla Ali was attractive to me. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough. Baumgartner, Shields, and Mayer for you? I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Shields will be in that regard, she'll be third for me. But sometimes she be looking real good too. But I'm just, don't forget to smack that like button, man. Smack that like button, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, I think yeah, I'm drinking tea though. I'm drinking peppermint and orange blossom tea. I mix them together with honey and lime. and brown sugar. There's this one, I can't remember her name. There's one Hispanic boxer. She's well, I don't know. She looked like she was Hispanic. I'm trying to see. I can't remember her name, man. She looked good. Sharika something. She looked real good. Well, at least in the picture. I don't know. You know, some people be looking good in pictures. And who was rock with Serrano in her Run DMC tracksuit? I like Serrano. She's cute too, but I think that Bumgarner Shields and Mayer are more attractive than her, but she's attractive too. So, have you heard of Shannon Contine? I think she's cute. No, let me see. Yokatsavaye? I don't know. She look kind of strong to me. She just fought Seniesa Estrada, right? She looks cute sometimes, but sometimes she be looking a little strong. She got that. She'll bite the shit out you. Got a strong jawbone. But yeah, she's pretty too. Chris is that one Mexican chick. That's the only thing I know about her. The argument against Shields is that she has been dominant in weaker divisions compared to Taylor and Serrano. Yeah, but see, I think that's what people try to take away from you, because Savannah Marshall is a very good fighter. I mean, let's look it up, right? Dominant in weaker division. I mean, is Chantel Cameron that good, right? Katie Taylor lost to Chantel Cameron. That's her only loss, right? And Chantel Cameron beat her too. I think Chantel Cameron's a beast, but is Chantel Cameron much better than Savannah Marshall? I don't think so. I can't say she's significantly better, you know. And then even if Amanda Serrano only lost, I mean, even if you want to say Katie Taylor's the best and Amanda Serrano lost to her, well, Serrano lost to I can't remember her name, Frida something, right? That's not, Katie Taylor's not the only person Amanda lost to. So it's very hard to kick that they've been fighting beasts like her. Like she beat Sarah Mahfoud. Sky Nicholson beat Sarah Mahfoud. You know, people say Sky Nicholson ain't fight nobody, but I mean, like they have some common opponents, right? So I don't think that Amanda Serrano, in her favor, she has a lot of fights. You know, she has like 50 fights or something like that. But I wouldn't say the quality is any different. Yeah, I don't really see the. And plus, and let's say even if the quality was different, right? Claressa Shields, now she only has 15 fights or 16 fights, whatever it is. She has been through how many divisions? You know what I'm saying? She just fought a heavyweight against a champion. People won't give her credit because they don't know who Vanessa Lepage Joanisi is, but she was a heavyweight champion, right? So I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, to each his own, man. You know. And then what's the one other game? I said Hannah Gabriel's. What was the other one? Hammer something. Hammer. Christina Hammer or something like that. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I think that they're all great. But you know, I do think that sometimes people, like when it's Lomachenko, right? People say, "Oh, he fought in a world championship fight in his second fight." So they're trying to say how good he is. He was good enough to fight in the second fight, even though he lost to Orlando Salido, right? Claressa Shields, she has 15 wins, and people say, "Oh, she only has 15 wins. How are you the best?" But someone just fought. You were impressed with somebody else fighting for a championship in their second fight. She only has 15 wins, but a lot of her fights were championship fights. So I don't see how that's a knock, you know. But I don't know. Yeah, it'll be nice if female heavyweight division got popping, but how many people gonna watch it? I don't know. D Cry, you talking about the one who be sparring with the wagon? I'm gonna try to find the person I'm talking about, man. Nah, she's here she go right here. Yep, Sherneka Johnson. This is the one I'm talking about right here, chat. This one. Hey, you talking about? That's what Sherneka Johnson. We just saw her fight not too long ago. This one right here. I didn't even know she was Australian. I might have to, you know what I'm talking about? She remind me of, she looked like a girl I used to talk to in high school. Joyce. Yeah, she looked good to me. I know you seen her before, Claw. You ain't got to tell me. I know. Well, she's supposed to be fighting in December. I don't know if it's. Let me see. Was it scheduled? I don't know if it's official, but I saw something about her and Sky Nicholson fighting on the same card, not against each other, but fighting on the same card in December. I don't know if I don't think it's finalized though. It's just something it was a report I was reading on. Yeah, it's not finalized yet, but she supposedly has a fight coming up in December. You be loving the snow bunnies. Don't let Dr. Umar see. How did you get that? First of all, I don't owe nobody nothing, so I ain't worried about Dr. Umar. That's number one. Number two, how did you come to that conclusion? I don't know how you came to that conclusion. Yo. Oh, cry, you crazy, be cry. Peace and information. No, that's cap. That is cap. I like all women, man. I don't discriminate, man. But I do have a bigger infinity for my dark skinned women, but you know I like them more. But as a whole, but you know I done dated black, white, Hispanic, Asian, mixtures all in between. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't really care about that, but I'm more attracted to black women than anything. But yeah, man, I've dated all types of. I go on the individual, but as a whole, generally speaking, yeah, like said I be loving them. So I literally said, I don't even know how you came to that. She just happens to be. I don't, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You love Ebony British. She's all right. She's all right. That's the one that has the OnlyFans or something like that, right? She just fought Mayo Yoshida, right? Her last fight. Yeah, she's all right. She's pretty. That's what I'm saying, bro. There's a lot of, like, I don't really say anybody's ugly anyway. You're not gonna really hear me say too many people are ugly. But to me, that Sherneka Johnson is probably the most the most attractive of the female boxers. But if I go to the WNBA, you know what I'm saying? To me, who I say is the baddest clone, Rakia Jackson. What does Rakia Jackson look like? This is what Rakia Jackson looks like here. Come on now. I don't know what boys this time. Look, there go Rakia Jackson right there. To me, she the best looking in the WNBA. Well, she looked good, but also Sophie Cunningham, who is white. But yeah, I don't really. You look good. You look good. This bad boy cry is capping. You know, but I like Dejanay Carrington too. You know. But in boxing, I think Sherneka Johnson got it. Matter of fact, I'll say her and Sky Nicholson. I think Sherneka look better, but now I think about it, they both Australian, huh? Hey, maybe that's an Aussie thing. I don't know. Maybe I need to go to Australia. Is it Ebony Bridges Australia too? Treetop? Maybe it's an Aussie thing, man. Maybe we like boxing. You a boxing enthusiast? Might need to go down to Australia then. Bumgarner's the hottest to me. Bumgarner look good too. Yep. Yeah, I think I would say that Bumgarner. She's definitely up there. I think Michaela Mayer's up there. I think. Not every time I say a white chick, I would be thinking what boy said. Well, yeah, Michaela Mayer up there. Alicia Bumgarner's up there. Like I said, I think Claressa Shields up there too. I just don't think she's as high as Bumgarner and Bumgarner and Sherneka and Seniesa Estrada's pretty too. Ebony Bridges got some pretty feet. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know nothing about her OnlyFans, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I just know she has one because when she goes to fight, she has it on her panties. That's it. That's or her towel or whatever. I've never been to her OnlyFans, bro. So I don't know what her feet look like, bro. Me and you are not the same. Don't do that. I don't know nothing about them toes. That's all you, bro. I'd never been on OnlyFans. Period. You know what I'm saying? Much less on hers. I've never seen on. I couldn't even tell you what the interface looks like. To be honest, I've never been on OnlyFans, bro. This man said this man said her feet.
What?
Hey yo, TMP boxing in the building. What's good, brethren? This man Treetop said facts. That's crazy. Nah, y'all wild. Nah, y'all some freaky yo. Now, y'all some freaky deaky jokers, bro. Man, we get sidetracked so easily. Like, yeah, facts. I'm telling you, clone. I'm telling you, bro. So get so sidetracked, bro. You got to call. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, man. Anybody want to join the Discord, man? You can pull up. I'm pretty much done, man. I just want to talk about that Claressa Shields and Amanda Serrano nonsense, bro. I don't think there's any beef. I think people try to make beef and try to make beef because they don't understand what people are saying intentionally, or they really are confused. I think people really be confused. If you're confused, then just ask for clarity, bro. I remember when I got into it with some scrub I knew back in the day, you know, and I was gonna put a pause on him, man. He's lucky the other homie was there, man. But it was all a misunderstanding because he didn't understand what I said, and he thought I was disrespecting. It's like, you could just ask me every time. Every time before I jump to a conclusion, unless it's blatant, I ask you. I'm like, bro, what did you mean by that? You know. Because I think clarity is good, you know, and I asked him multiple times just to make sure what he was saying. You know, he was one of those ignorant jokers that don't know how to express himself effectively. And sometimes I had to break it down, like, okay, it seems like you meant it this way. But then I said something like, he misinterpreted it. I can't remember what it was. Then the other dude had to calm him down. Snow Queen is up there. If you need the Reddit or Mega, holla at me, Doctor or anyone. I got y'all. What is the Mega, bro? What is the Mega, bro? I don't even know what Mega. I know Reddit. What is Mega? I don't want it, though. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. The one always talking to Ennis. We on different, yeah. Now we locking in, bro. And the one who interviewed Roach. This man, boys, is crazy. But yeah, man, I think that I think people just need to stop, especially men, man. Stop hating on the women, man, because you try to try to kick it like they're hating on each other, and you're really hating on them. And like I said, shame on Amanda Serrano for not understanding what Claressa Shields was saying, because once again, you just try to just go with the masses and stuff like that, and you got to look into what people are saying, man. Like I said, I'm not saying you have to like her personally, because I know that she could be annoying, you know. I can see how she would be annoying, because sometimes she does seem like she's just being extra, but that doesn't change in this situation that it was not a case of that. It was a case of misinformation being kicked, and she was just correcting it, you know. But yeah, you could join up, man. You got to have a Discord though. Who asked me TMP Boxer? You have to have Discord, bro. I don't know if you have a Discord or not, but you just download the app, and if you know how to use it, it's very simple, man. It's like I don't know if you have WhatsApp. It's similar to WhatsApp. You just download it, create your profile, join the server that I say the invite link on, and I'll pull you up. Mega is a site where you can lots of files. You can upload lots of files. Most users to share software or adult content. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. Y'all be on some tings, boy. Y'all be on some tings, boy. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. I didn't want to stay too long. I didn't really know what else. Like, it's been pretty slow, but today, don't worry, we have some fights today, though. We have Brandon Ingram. I've been watching too much basketball lately. You know, I rock with basketball, too. Two favorite sports, boxing and basketball. Brandon Adams, going against Andreas Katsarakis. So that should be a good fight for the OTX tournament. And then we also have, in the evening in South Africa, Johannesburg specifically, Kane Fury versus Basiru Muhammad. I'm not going to watch that. That's going to be at 1 p.m. I mean, I might watch it, but I'm not going to stream live. But I will be on live, good Lord willing, for the Brandon Adams versus Andreas Korzakis. That's going to be Katsarakis. That's going to be the, dang, sense of my eye. That's going to be the finale of the OTX tournament. So that should be pretty good. And then we also have Harlem Eubank fighting at 12:30. I don't know if that's going to be televised, though. Or I'm sure it'll be televised in England, but I don't know if it's going to be broadcast. The Only Kaya, I don't know who that is. Who is that? Summer Hill, the one who interviewed Roach. Well, they got like adult content, you're saying? Only Kaya? Or is that like a boxing interviewer? Content creator? I'm not sure. But I'm not familiar with them. He said OTX. Yeah, OTX tonight. Yep. Michaela's a hot tamale. Bro. Yo, Treetop, bro. Y'all too horny, man. Y'all too horny, bro. Don't forget to smack that like button with your little horny asses, man. Smack that like button for your boy. Yeah, I think I covered everything, man. So I covered the George Kambosos going to 140. Who called Teofimo's father going to 140? That's crazy. And then I covered the Kermel Moulton, Jersey Vargas, and Joseph Brown fighting on November 30th on the Danny Garcia's promotional card. So 3 Floyd Mayweather TMT fighters will be on Danny Garcia's card, which I think is dope for the growth of the sport. I talked about Kambosos going to 140. I think he should be all right. You know, hopefully he could bounce back. I'm looking forward to seeing him do some damage at 140. I just don't know if he beats any of the current champions. But I do think he's wise to be calling out Teofimo. I think that's the biggest fight that he can make, most lucrative fight that he can make for himself. You know, at 140 will be a rematch against Teofimo because, like I said, Devin Haney's not the champion right now, and I don't think anybody wants to see him versus Devin Haney. That's probably the biggest name at 140 between Devin Haney number 1, and then number 2 probably Teofimo Lopez. Number 3, biggest name, I don't know, but definitely top 2, Devin Haney and Teofimo. So him calling, he's not going to fight Devin Haney twice. Nobody wants to see that. He already lost twice, and then Teofimo. That would be interesting because Teofimo's a champion, number 1, and number 2. He could kick it as a revenge match, revenge rematch potentially for Teofimo. So I think a lot of people will check in to see if he could avenge his loss, right, to George Kambosos. So I think that'll be a good. That's Teofimo's only loss too, right? That's his only loss. So he got avenge his only loss to George Kambosos. So that'd be intriguing enough to sell right there. We got Tyson Fury in the gym with Kevin Lorena while he's preparing for Alexander Usyk. This man Kevin Lorena is a Bridgerweight champion, man. Bridgerweight champion. TMP say you about to call it? All right, but I'll give it a second. You got to wait 10 minutes. So that's why I ask people to join the Discord before you ever want to call in. Always just join the Discord, man. So whenever you call in, you can just join up, you know, because there's a filter setting on my Discord because, you know, trolls will get in there and, you know, try to spam all types of hatred stuff, overall hate stuff, you know, or nasty stuff like pornographic images and stuff. So, you know, usually when you put on a little filter, it stops them. But that filter, you know, makes you got to wait like 10 minutes. But yeah, I'll give it a second if you could call in. Then if not, then so you know how to do it. You got to join the voice channel called Chillin' Lions or join AFK and I'll pull you up. If not, then I could just catch you on the next show. Good Lord willing, TNP. Cause I do gotta get me some food. Okay, bet. I appreciate you, TNP. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's like a 10-minute wait time just to stop the trolls and stuff. Like I used to let people just join immediately, but people would join and do crazy stuff. So, you know, trolls are very impatient, right? They're very childish and impatient. So if you put on a little 10-minute filter and let you know who really wants to contribute in a positive manner, who just wants to be an asshole. Yeah, the Discord's open. I'll pull up my guy Oscar, and then yeah, so keep rocking. We gonna rock on for a little bit more TMP since Oscar's pulling up. But then I'm not gonna stay on too long though.
Yo.
What's good, brethren?
Oh, hold up.
What's good? Got Oscar right here joining, man. So did you hear the segment about Claressa Shields and the Amanda Serrano stuff?
Yeah, man, why people are just hating, man?
I don't know, bro.
It's not like she said anything bad.
Right. She didn't say anything bad at all. She just wanted to make sure that things were accurately compared. Like I don't see how that's hate, but
What she said, it's not like she said anything bad.
right. And she was just correcting. She was directing it at a person. That's why she DM'd him. But he went and exposed the DMs like a little hoe. You know, that's what. I'm not saying he's a hoe, but that was a hoish move. So if you're a person and you do hoish things, then yeah, you're probably a hoe. So you know, like it's not like she like that's how I let you know that it wasn't hating because. He's trying to make it. People are trying to make it seem like, oh, she was closet hating. No, she was directly talking to him and correcting him on something that he said. That's why she DM'd him. She's a very outspoken person. That's why a lot of people don't like her because she's outspoken. So if she was gonna say something in general, why wouldn't she just do it like she always does and just say it out? You know what I'm saying? Say it to the public. But she DM'd him. So I don't know, man. Yo, Isla, what's good? Boy Langus, what's good? Have a nice weekend, everyone. Believe in yourself and take small steps. Like, hey, God bless you, boys. Cry, man. Good. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, man.
Nah, you know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
It reminds me of the guys that break up with their girlfriends and then they post the nudes or whatever pictures.
Yeah. Like, come on, bro.
You just butthurt, dude. Like,
Right.
You just fucking butthurt.
Right, bro. Like, it don't make no sense, dog. Like, I don't understand. That's a good example, bro. Yeah, it's like, why would you do that, bro? Delete them or keep them in your archives for you, but I got some in my archives, you know what I'm talking about? But I would never, you know what I'm saying, show anybody else or like, that's corny, bro. That's corny, dog.
It's just showing how much of a bitch you are, honestly.
Facts. On another note, man, on a more positive, I guess, progressive note, what you think about George Kambosos, man? What do you think about his chances at 140 are looking like? He's supposed to be fighting
I
Jermaine.
think he's gonna be a good contender. He's not gonna. I don't think he can become a champion. But he's gonna be more of a contender.
Okay.
Like he can be Rolly and him be a good fight.
That'd
Actually,
be a good fight. I like that.
First good fight is Sahara Davis against Kambosos. So that's a first good fight.
Facts.
But I don't think he can become a champion, but there's gotta be. I gotta see him more at 140 to make my assessment. But there's a lot of people at 140. There's Pitbull if he loses. Or Ryo.
Pitbull. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of people he can fight there.
Him and Pitbull would be very
like
interesting. I like it too. I got Pitbull. Matthew, he's supposed to be, so Kambosos, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, he's supposed to be fighting Matthew Germain in Australia in February. So February is a pretty hot little month right there. But yeah, I got, that's a good fight. I like that fight. Pitbull versus Kambosos. I like that fight, but I got Pitbull, but I like that fight. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I would like to see it.
Especially if Pitbull could beat Alex Fierro.
Yeah, and the rematch. Apparently, they're gonna have a fight in between, and then they're gonna rematch.
Oh, Ryo and Pitbull.
If they both win.
Okay, yeah, I saw Ryo supposed to have a fight, but I didn't know if it was just rumors or I didn't know that. So appreciate you letting me know. So they're supposed to have a fight in between and then have the rematch. Okay.
That's what Ellerby said. I was watching an interview, but he was like, so what happens with the rematch? And he was like, it's still happening. I just want both guys to get a fight in between before it happens.
Okay.
I was like, all right, that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I don't like Kambosos' chances. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think that it's gonna be a tough task for him, but like I said, I think that people disrespect Kambosos too much, man. I think that we got to respect him and see him as a champion. He did beat Teofimo Lopez. It's his best win probably, but which is a good win. It's Teofimo's only loss, and I think that I do think that compared to the other champions at 135, he was probably right and rightfully so considered the weakest link. But just because you're the worst of the best doesn't mean that you're bad. You know what I'm saying? He's still a champion, So like I think that I agree with you. I think size and lack of power moving up to 140 will be an issue. But I don't know who like Oscar said, like him being a contender, that's still good. I don't know if me personally, like I don't think he beats any of the 4 champions, to be honest. I don't think he beats I don't think he beats Teofimo in the rematch at 140. I don't think he beats Ryo. I think that'd be a good fight, but I got Ryo. I don't think he beats. I think Alberto Puello stylistically is a bad fight for Kambosos. And then I think who's the other guy? Liam Parr. I think Liam Parr beats the hell out of him. I ain't gonna lie. His countrymen. Yeah, they might not be countrymen anymore. I think Liam Parr beat the hell out of Kambosos. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I just think I don't think he wants that pressure. But like he said, I think Eastside Pitbull Cruz and Ryo's a good fight. I mean, Kambosos and Rolly and Kambosos, and I think Andy Hiroka and him would be a good fight. I think Andy Hiroka will win that too, but I think that's a good fight.
Yeah, I think he'll slap him across the ring.
Well, that'd be a good test for Andy, because Andy's best win is Ishmael Barroso, So I think that'd be a good test for him. Like, I think that's a good. I think if he wins, that's a good win, and if Kambosos win, that's a hell of a win for him too.
That's the thing with 140 and 154. Even
154.
if you lose, it don't look as bad because everybody's good.
Right.
And there's a lot of contenders there. They're trying to trim out the fat with the muscle, but it's very hard.
Yep. Yeah.
And if you're in the mix, you're in the mix.
Yeah. And then what's the name
You're
too?
1-2 fights away.
Yeah, facts.
1-2 fights away from greatness.
Yep. Absolutely. And then what's the name too? I mean, we didn't even talk about Jack Catterall. He could fight him. I think Jack Catterall wins too. But that's who it was. Let me ask you this, Oscar. Speaking of the guys at 140, let me know if you saw this. That's who I saw. I saw Jose Rayo Valenzuela potentially against Gary Anton Russell. Did you see that?
No.
Okay, I saw that. I don't believe
Really?
it. Yeah, that's what I saw. That's what I don't believe it. But remember, yeah, that's when I just remember it. 'Cause I was like, and that makes sense when you said the interim. That's what I say. I saw some a next fight for Rayo. I just don't know if it's finalized or anything. But yeah, it's supposed to be Rayo versus Gary Anton Russell. I think that's if you're planning for a rematch with Pitbull, that's a very dangerous fight for an interim fight.
Yeah, I wouldn't take that as a light test because Rayo itself, the only reason, let's remember, like, guys like Rayo, guys like Pitbull, Fundora, Espinosa, El Divino Espinosa, who else? I already said Fundora, right? Yeah. Well, them guys are tricky. They're awkward. You have, even if you beat them, it don't mean you're good.
Right.
It's just you managed to beat them.
Right.
So we don't know how good Rayo is against other athletes, the same size, same caliber, about the same style, you know. But Pitbull, Fundora, Espinosa, they're awkward to fight. They're so awkward. So they don't. If you beat them, it don't mean that you're good. It just means you're good enough to beat them.
I agree. I'd even throw Nick Ball in that conversation too.
Yeah, Nick Ball. That's the guy I was thinking.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, man. So I think that I got to see what Rayo has. Like I do have faith in Rayo though, because like I said, he impressed me a lot with that Pitbull win.
Yeah, he did. I still got Rayo, but like you said, it's still a dangerous fight.
That's a dangerous
Very
fight.
dangerous.
Yeah, that's a dangerous fight, man. That's a dangerous fight to be, especially if it's just intermission. You know, what I'm saying, a fight in the interim between a potential rematch. That's a very dangerous fight. He said, "Do you know who's coaching David Benavidez?" Yeah, his father, senior, or Jose Benavidez Senior. Treetop. Yes,
hey,
sir.
let's talk about that 140 fight that's gonna happen December 7th.
140. Paro and Hitchens.
Yeah.
I forgot about Hitchens. Hitchens and Kambosos is a good fight too.
Yeah.
I forgot about Hitchens. Yeah.
Like I had Hitchens going up. Like I was like, oh yeah, he can beat him. Until I was like, Hitchens got a chance. I thought Paro was gonna win. So Hitchens got a chance until he said he's expecting that 140 rehydration clause to weight training. I'm like, yeah, get the fuck out of here, man. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. It's a championship fight. You just let them know it is going to affect you. That's what you let them know.
Right. Yeah. So that's what they see. Like even before that, I'm with you on that too. I think that's corny. Number one, by Hitchens to even mention that. That's, you've been in the IBF for the longest, so you know that. But like I said, I had Paro winning anyway. So, but I think it's a good fight, and I was like, man, I think it's interesting. I can see a path to victory for Hitchens, but yeah, I got Paro.
No, I got Paro as well. Although he's short, he's got a tricky style. I don't know. He just knows how to get in there.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a pause though. That's crazy. Hey yo.
Oh fuck.
Hey yo. He's tricky. He knows how to get in there. Yo.
No, did he?
Hey yo. Hold on. What are we talking about?
Call him the Spider-Man.
Hey yo. Hey.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, DJ. I never DJ.
That's my DJ. It's crazy. Dark, are we going to see Soul? Man, I hope, bro. Man, what are the chances? I think it's slim. Unfortunately, man. I'm not gonna lie. Were you done, Oscar? 'Cause I'm gonna address Isla's comment.
Yeah.
Okay. Change the subject. I think I was thinking about that too this morning to make like fights that I want to see on 2025 a list. And I'm glad you just said that, Isla. I want to see Benavidez and Canelo. I don't think it's gonna happen. I want to see Tank and Shakur. I don't think it's gonna happen. I want to see, at least not next year. I don't think it's gonna happen. Let me add some specificity. I don't think it's gonna happen next year. I do think that if, this is a big if if Benavidez beats Morrell and Bivol and Beterbiev have the rematch in February, I think Benavidez fights one of them. I think Benavidez. Well, obviously, if Bivol wins, then we're gonna get a trilogy, unless Beterbiev retires. But if Beterbiev wins, I think that will happen. Him and the winner of Morrell and Benavidez. I'm not sure if Morrell will get it next year in 2025. But if Benavidez wins, I definitely feel like he'll get Beterbiev if Beterbiev and Benavidez win next year. But yeah, Canelo and Benavidez, man, I just have trouble seeing it happening because if Benavidez stays at 175, beats Morrell, and then he fights Beterbiev or Bivol, and he wins, I definitely don't think it happens. If he loses, maybe still. Maybe it could happen, but if he wins, hell no.
I'm going to disagree with you in the sense that Benavidez said that the only way he can get that Canelo fight is if he unifies.
Hey,
if he's unified, like an undisputed champion.
Yeah. You think Canelo will be like, okay, bet.
Yeah, but he said that's the only way I see that fight happening. That's the only reason I'm
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Because you know, Canelo likes, he's been looking for that undisputed at 175. Because that's what he was saying.
At 175, Benavidez looks more vulnerable. So I think that weight, it affected him last fight, for sure.
That's true, but do you think he looks more vulnerable for a guy coming from 168 though? Like I think he looks vulnerable for guys that are big like him, like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if he's any less vulnerable or any more vulnerable, for guys that are smaller than him, especially coming. I don't know. I mean, that's a good point though. That's a good point. I mean, maybe he could be more, you know. I mean, hey, the weight's not always an advantage, right? Look at Gustavo Lemos. You know, I think if he would have came in closer to the weight, he probably would have been better. Or look at Khalil Cole, because, you know, he said that he was a little bloated and a little gassed, and Eddie Hearn said it was because of he wasn't in proper shape. So, yeah, it could backfire. So, I mean, you could be right. I don't know.
But it's because there's a lot of ifs. I don't think the fight's gonna happen anyway. Honestly, I think that train already sailed.
Yeah, me too. I think so too.
But
unfortunately.
I guess, like, Canelo's already an overblown super middleweight, you know what I mean?
Facts.
So, I don't know. I just don't think that fight happens. The fight that I do think if Usyk is undisputed, beats Tyson again, then Triple D. Undisputed heavyweight.
Rematch? And for undisputed?
Rematch.
Hey. Man, and if Daniel Dubois could beat Usyk, man, oh man. But if Usyk beats Dubois, I ain't gonna lie, Usyk might go down as one of the greatest, bro.
I think he already is.
Yeah. Facts. All three. Bud, Usyk, and Inoue are already one of the greatest. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah. But I think he'll be solidified as, like, I'm talking about, like, up there.
Usyk dominated cruiserweight. And then he dominated the heavyweight division just with footwork alone. That's the only reason he dominated heavyweight. Footwork.
Man,
that's crazy to me because he's so smaller than the other guys.
Yep. Does he have to
be he's smaller.
Yeah. Yep. Compared to the other guys, yeah. Because a lot of guys are 6'5", 6'4", 6. He's 6. You know what's crazy? Like, he's not even really, like, he's not small, but just relative to the guys he's fighting now, is like, because I think Usyk's 6'3", right? And I think Ali was like 6'3". But look how much taller Ali looked. Like, Ali looked tall compared to most people he fought back then. Now it's like being Ali's height is considered short. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. But yeah, I was gonna ask you though, if let's say he did win and he beat Dubois, does he have to beat Bacoli? Nah, I agree. Does he have to beat Zhang?
No, just because Zhang got a bad run, honestly.
I agree.
It's because, like, Zhang is more possible than Dubois, honestly. Just because it's in the Usyk is in a different generation. Usyk is in the generation of the Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Wilder, Jake Baby Miller, all them guys, you know. Dubois, Bacoli, Ajit Caballero, Moses Thomas. That's another generation. That's a different generation.
I'm with you. Okay, but what if but Bacoli's like 34.
If it happens, I got Bacoli winning.
I got Bacoli too. Bro, I got Bacoli beat Usyk, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, we got Smoochie in the building. I got Bacoli beat Usyk as well, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I don't know if that's fair. I probably shouldn't, but I got Bacoli. I just think I think Bacoli gonna walk him down, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now Zhang, I think is similar. Yeah, I think that's a bad matchup for Usyk, especially. And I could be wrong. You know, if anybody can figure it out, it's Usyk. You know, and I will admit too, I don't like to put too much stock into sparring stories, but that's one I believe. I ain't gonna lie, I believe all of Bacoli's sparring stories, just because look how everybody's acting, bro. Nobody wants to fight the man. I believe all his sparring. I believe that
Nobody wants.
Yeah. I believe he damaged Tyson Fury
Not
in
only
sparring.
that-
I believe he damaged Bacoli. I mean, Dubois. I believe he damaged Usyk. I believe all his sparring stories. I ain't gonna lie.
Not only that, Bacoli is not a heavyweight that just walks you down. I mean,
Yep.
that's the thing.
Yep.
That's what he does.
Yep.
But that's not the only thing he has.
Yep.
His punch resistance is out of this world, dude.
Yep.
That's incredible. He's just a tank. He can take anything. And
Yeah.
Usyk is not known for big punches like that.
Yep. So yeah, that's a good point, man. And another sparring story I believe too. And like I said, I don't like to put too much stock in the sparring because sparring, we see cases of it going the opposite way it went in sparring, and we see cases going of it the same way it went in sparring. And I could use Dubois as an example for both. You know, Dubois and Hrgovic, that didn't go the way it went in sparring, and then Dubois and Joshua went the way it went in sparring. So, but I will say this too. Another one I believe is that Rayo and Teofimo. I don't think Teofimo wants no smoke with Rayo, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I could be wrong. But
He don't want any smoke with any other guys that won't.
that's true. That's true. You're right. So maybe Rayo's not special. You're right. You're right. He could just be another person in 140 that he don't want no pressure with. You're right.
The main, like if people want to make a case against it, is you just gotta look at his last opposition: Steve Claggett and Jermaine Ortiz.
Come on now, talk to him. That's another guy at 140.
Oh,
Jermaine Ortiz and Kambosos.
hey, that's a good one.
That's a good one, bro. And they both have a commonality that they lost to Loma.
Hey, yeah.
And George Kambosos, you could say he beat the guy that beat Teofimo, even though that was some controversial there, right? Both had some controversy with Teofimo. You know, George Kambosos won his controversial win, and then Teofimo and Jermaine Ortiz lost his controversial. So yeah, that's a good fight. I got Jermaine though.
Yeah.
I got Jermaine winning that. Jermaine Ortiz.
I think you gotta go with the bigger guy. If a guy's coming up, you gotta go with the bigger guy until he proves you wrong.
Yeah. We said nobody want to fight his extra large ass. I'm telling you. Bacoli big. But we'll see, man. We'll see what Zhang's going to do because Zhang has been ordered to fight him again. I want to say, not that he's been ordered again, but it's the first time at least to my knowledge, he's been ordered. But this is the second time that they were supposed to fight. You know, Zhang was supposed to fight. Him and Zhang were supposed to fight. And then Zhang backed out for whatever reason. And then they're supposed to fight Caballero. And now Caballero was ordered by the IBF. And Caballero backed out. I didn't even know, like, that's crazy. I don't even know how that's going to be dealt with. You know, like I said, we'll see. So I don't know why he did, but he backed out for whatever reason. I'm thinking that maybe it's to fight Dubois, but we'll see. And then now, so Zhang and Bacoli have been ordered according to Ben Shalom. So we'll see how that goes, man. We should be seeing Zhang and Bacoli news soon. If not, we can anticipate that Zhang and Caballero, either one of them will be fighting Dubois, or one of them, or if not both, will be dropped out the IBF rankings for sure.
Hey, what about Figueroa? I'm sorry to change the subject, but
no, you're
Figueroa
good.
Fulton, that's a good rematch, man. This is 2025 is the year of rematches.
Yeah.
Even the NFC.
Yep.
The match, starting the rematch, like Espinosa, Robizzi. I don't care about Navarrete against Valdez. I really don't care about that fight.
Yeah, I don't care about
but
that too much.
Espinosa, and Robesi, and that's a good rematch.
That's a fantastic rematch.
That's a fire rematch.
Yeah, I think that has a potential. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to see Morrell and David Benavidez not being exciting. So I don't know if it could be fight of the night, but it's definitely gonna it's definitely gonna galvanize a card, man. Figueroa and Fulton. I don't know if it could top Benavidez and Morrell, but that's a great fight. That rematch is great.
Ramos is in that card, right, too?
Who? Yeah, Jesus Ramos going against Jason Rosario, Banana Rosario. That's gonna be a good one too. Like, I think that whole card is good. Who's the other fight? Isa Pitbull Cruz and Alex Fierro. So I think that whole card is good. All four of those fights are good. And they might add to it. You never know. You're calling in? All right, TMP. I'll pull you up. Remember, you got to join either AFK or Chillin' Lions. You see the voice channel. But yeah, I think that yeah, we have some good fights. And then the 7th, like I said, so I want to see. Don't get me wrong. I'm not too intrigued about Navarrete and Valdez, but I mean, it's still going to be an exciting fight. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's going to be heavily in one person's favor, and that's Navarrete. But I just don't see the point of it. But Valdez is a champion. He's an interim champion right now for the WBO belt that Navarrete has, and if he says he could change something in his game plan that'll make it more of a competition, then I gotta respect him as a champion to see something, you know.
Talking about Valdez, I want to make a point about Eddie Reynoso. Valdez went in there and tried to fight a bigger guy the same way Canelo does.
Yep.
When Canelo deals with bigger guys, not only are they taller than him, that's where I think that you're right, where people confuse bigger with taller. He's not just bigger. He's not just taller, but he's about the same body type as Valdez. And I'm like, dude, you can't go in there trying to catch and shoot when this guy throws 100 punches around.
Exactly. Thank you, bro. You know what's crazy about that, bro? I want to explain something real quick, and I wish the person was here because, do people know what's good, Ty? My guy. I don't think people realize why they have divisions by weight. I don't think people realize what that means. Like, so I'm not trying to be a butthole when I break this down, but like, I don't know if people know what weight is. Like, I'm not speaking about like from the English language definition. I'm talking about the mathematical language. Like, weight, people don't realize that's a force. F equals ma. F equals force and mass times acceleration. Weight equals mg. M is the same mass. G is the gravitational pull, which is 9.8 meters per second squared, which is an acceleration. So weight is a force. So not only is it a force, if you look at the units, right? So mass is by grams or kilograms. Acceleration is meters per second squared. So if you put it together, it's mass meters, which is distance over second squared. So it's basically saying your mass, which is your matter, over a distance over a given amount of time. That's the space that you occupy. So it doesn't matter if I have a container that's tall and long, and then if I have something else like this that's small and wide, they could be the same weight as long as what's inside of it, assuming they're the same material, as long as what's inside of it is the same volume. That's why volumetric weight is important when you're doing, like, when you're shipping containers and stuff like that. So you could get a better understanding of the overall space and force that you occupy. So whether you're freaking a Rafael Espinosa or you're Nick Ball, we're all in a similar body, and our bodies have the same composition. So even though one's tall and lanky and one's short and wide, if you step on that scale, you still give the same force, and that's 126 pounds of force. So that's why they go like that. They don't go by your how tall you are. They don't go by how long you are or your frame, like the other guy was saying, who has a bigger frame. They don't go by your freaking baseball cap size or your shoe size. They go by how much space you occupy at a given moment, and that's what the weight divisions are separated by. So that's your overall force. Like, I don't know, like, that's why they don't do it by any other arbitrary characteristics that you think is sufficient enough to tell who's bigger. It doesn't go by that stuff, bro. That's what it is. Your space that you occupy, your mass, your matter. That's what it is. It all goes back to inertia. Yes, we get it. You have a I knew I knew people were gonna say stuff like that. I knew it, bro. What's good won't be famous. I can't explain nothing, bro. Now people gonna think I'm being condescending. I'm not being condescending, bro. I really don't think people understand. I'm not being like, I know Oscar does, and I know you do. Like, even if I don't break it down like that, you kind of have a general concept of why it's broken, like why these things happen. But I really don't think people understand why stuff is. Like they're weight divisions, not speed divisions or height divisions or width divisions. Like, it's by weight for a reason, because you can have different weights and be different shapes, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, it has nothing. You could be 8 feet tall as long as you make 126 pounds. Me and you, like, you know what I'm saying? You and Nick Ball are the same. Now you might rehydrate to different things or whatever, but no, bro. Yo, my guy won't be famous in the building. I just peeped that Smoochie said cough nerd. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. You're more than West Coast. Yes, sir. West side of the building. West Coast is the best coast, ain't it? My guy, what's good?
Are you gonna pull that other guy up?
Nah, I already know you. Oh yeah, is he here? Oh no, TMP, you there, bro? Let me know if you need help. I can show you how to do it on stream if you can't find it. Don't feel bad if it's your first time using Discord. It can be a little confusing, but once you understand it, it's very simple. So yeah. But just let me know if you need help, bro. Ain't no shame, bro. You study physics, like, physics, exactly.
I completely agree with it. This is simple math, dude. It's not like
simple math, bro.
You don't need a PhD to know this
stuff. Thank you, Oscar.
I've seen that stuff that you mentioned. I've seen it in high school.
Yes, bro. High school, bro. There's nothing that was like, come on, bro. Yeah, I know you just give me stuff. I know you give me shit. You good, won't be physics, but yeah, but you'll be surprised how many people don't realize that. You know, it's like even, I know it's gonna be off topic a little bit, but like even with like stuff like PEDs, right? When they have a threshold, I know it may seem inconsequential to us, but there's a reason why that threshold is whatever it is. It's not just some random number that well, let me just pick one and say you can't be above that. No, it's because once they break those toxicologists or whatever, forget PEDs, because I don't want people to think I'm picking on Ryan Garcia or something. So let's go to speeding, right? Let's go to intoxication levels, right? And so I don't know what the levels are, but whatever level it is, the legal limit, right? Once you get to that point of alcohol level in your body, that's when things start changing in your body, as far as like that impacts your judgment, your reaction time. Once it passes that threshold, it doesn't mean that you are incapable, but you're less capable of reacting in an appropriate time or as fast as you normally would, driving in a safe manner. Your judgment gets messed up once you pass a certain threshold, and that threshold is however they determined that. They probably ran a whole bunch of tests on a large sample pool, and the average person probably their senses and their judgment all dwindle down significantly once you pass that level. So there's not just random arbitrary numbers that people pick just to be buttholes. There's literally a process behind these things. So like people just think it's random. So when you see like a PED that it says it's 0.1 nanograms per milliliter and someone comes in 60 times that limit, and just because to you that still sounds small, for your body it's not small, bro. It's impactful, bro. Like I don't like, it's really mind boggling to me how people just disregard, like these are people's professions. Some people are professional toxicology experts, like they're toxicologists. That's for them to determine how these things impact your body and your judgment and your physiology and everything. Like this is not just randomly chosen, bro. Even with speed limits, right? Oscar, like if you go through a school zone and your school zone's like 15 miles per hour, and it's done so if a kid randomly crosses the street and you don't see it, not only can you stop in time, but let's say you can't stop in time. If you happen to, God forbid, hit that kid, if you're going 15 miles per hour, you probably won't kill the kid. Because they determined that that's a speed that you could probably survive a collision with if you hit a walking pedestrian. It's not just, oh, I want to be a butthole, so you got to go slow. No, it's for you to be able to stop in time if you see them at the last second. It's not only that, it's probably it determines the speed that your brakes could handle and stop your heavy behind car within an appropriate distance to not hit somebody or something. And if you do hit somebody, it's probably not going to kill them. But if you're going 25 or 35 or 45, you're probably going to kill them. and you're probably not gonna be able to stop in time, and you're probably, you know what I'm saying, and your brakes probably won't be able to handle such a quick deceleration, which deceleration doesn't exist scientifically, right? Acceleration, it's just acceleration in the opposite direction. So since you want me to pull out my PhD on your ass, there's no such thing as deceleration. That's a fake concept. It's just acceleration in the opposite direction.
Not only that, but like I agree with everything you said, and like going back to like Valdez and Alvarez, like even trainers don't get it sometimes. You know what I mean? Just like that's what I was saying like the other day. Just because you do something every day, don't mean you understand.
Talk to him.
Sometimes us fans understand the concept better than trainers and better
Talk to
than
him.
boxers themselves.
Talk to him.
I take it back to soccer. Like if I take it to soccer. Players that don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yep.
That they're doing something, but they don't even know what the hell they're doing.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But going back to Valdez and Alvarez.
Oh, give me one quick second, Oscar, please. TMP, I just saw you in there. Yeah, you're good. I'm gonna pull you up. I just saw you in there. I just had to pull you up from the background. You're in the right channel. Okay, go ahead, Oscar.
Going back to Alvarez, it's like that style works with Canelo because one, he's already small for that division. So anybody he faces is bigger, not only bigger in weight, but also just bigger physically. That's why it works on that. Valdez was at 130. Alvarez
Right.
was at 130.
Right.
Of course, that's why I was not going to.
Right. That's, I mean, facts.
Yo.
My guy, what's good, bro?
Yo, what up, Dr. A? My bad, man.
Nah, you're good.
Like, I don't know, about 6 years, so.
Nah, you're good, bro. I appreciate you joining and figuring it out, man. Taking the time to figure it out, bro. I appreciate you joining, man. No apology needed, man. TMP Boxing is my guy, Oscar. You know him from the chat. Oscar, that's TMP Boxing, man. It's his first time joining.
What's
us,
up,
so.
man? What's up?
Yo, what up, man? Yo, I heard you guys talking about Jermaine Ortiz.
Yes, sir. What you got to say about Buddy?
Nah, that's my boy, man. I grew up with that dude.
Oh, word? That's what's up, man.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's what's up.
Yeah, nah, good dude, man. Real good dude. Like, people don't understand because sometimes he can be a little bit not as expressive as some people want in the community.
Right,
But
right.
that dude, man, yo, I'm telling you guys right now, a solid dude, just a good guy at heart, man. And
That's dope.
Yeah, just a true boxer, man. He's been relevant since the amateurs,
Yep.
working with the pros, and now, I mean, look at him. You know what I mean? He in my eyes, he beat Theo. You know,
Hey, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
Also, bro, I said that all the time. It's like that's the only robbery we're cool because he seemed like he tried to finesse boxing. But
Yes.
it was still a robbery, regardless. It's
Yes.
still a robbery to me.
Yes, I agree with that. I thought because you know what's crazy, TMP. I'm so happy I be streaming because I have all this stuff documented. Like if people are interested in it, I had Jermaine Ortiz I had him going into that fight. I thought Jermaine Ortiz could pull it off, but like Oscar just articulated, man, I was really disappointed with the way he approached it. I didn't expect him to approach it like that. And I felt like he was trying to finesse boxing, and you can't beat a champ like that. For whether you like it or not, it's just you're not gonna get decisions like that, especially if the champ has a bigger name than you. So I do feel like I felt like if he would have fought like he fought Loma, I think he could have won. But at the same time, I'm not a trainer. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a humble fan. So they saw something that they could exploit in Teo, and they're right because he couldn't cut off the ring, so they made him look silly now. They definitely accomplished what, you know what I'm saying, they did their thing. But I did think that Teofimo won.
Joe, Jermaine's done that before to plenty of people. I mean, yo, if you look at, not to talk bad about Devin Haney, because I think he's a good kid. I think he's a good kid.
Right.
But yo, it seems like every time Jermaine has a fight, who follows up right after him? Devin Haney. I know that, you know, they're mutual friends, they're mutual, you know what I mean? I really don't know. I got to talk to him about that, but it seems like look, Jermaine fought Lomachenko.
Yep.
Who fought Lomachenko right after? Devin Haney.
Devin, yeah, okay.
Right? Now Devin Haney.
Oh, we kind of losing you. You can hear him, Oscar? I can't hear him.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, okay, I hear you now.
Yeah, I'm driving. My bad.
Nah, you good, bro.
But yeah, I've noticed that trend. That Devin Haney. I mean, it seems like he falls in his steps because Jermaine can expose, even if you won't outclass him completely, he exposes a couple of flaws that makes him beatable.
I agree with that. Not only,
Yeah.
yeah, not only do I agree with it, it's like you don't know if you can beat one guy until that guy you make that guy look vulnerable.
Yeah.
So once you make him vulnerable, of course the better boxer is gonna beat him, which is to me is Devin Haney.
Right, I see what you're saying. I know my
Yeah,
boy
so-
Ty's itching to get in here. Yo, just doing the build. It was good, brethren.
But
Yeah.
yeah, like you don't know how far you can take a guy. It takes one guy to just expose their flaws, and then you're able to make a game plan out of that.
Absolutely. I agree.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So what was the topic of the day though? What was right?
Yeah, it was Kambosos moving up to 140, and then also the Claressa Shields, Cameron, Amanda Serrano seem to be misinformation or confusion, whatever you want to call it. I think it's just fuckery and people being messy, but yeah, George Kambosos I want to focus on. 140.
For the Cameron Claressa Shields thing, I think that's kind of like that's like a side topic, you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. Yep.
Yeah, like Cameron, he's on a box. I really don't care. So.
Right, exactly. Like I thought that was just weak, man. You dropping DMs and it's like, come on, bro, we grown man. You're supposed to be grown, man. I feel like that shit is just, unless it's for a purpose, like to prove your innocence or something like that. Someone accuse you or something, and you got something that could, you know what I'm saying, like prove your innocence or something. But if you just dropping it just for like that, and you lying about the intent behind it, I think that's corny. But anyway, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Kambosos though for 140, he's a small 135, no?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's gonna work for him. I mean, he could do good. He could. Is he gonna be an undisputed champion at 140? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, he could do good.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because I think. Oh my bad. Go ahead. I didn't know you were still talking. Go ahead, bro.
I didn't say nothing.
Oh, okay. I probably the echo, but yeah, I think it's good because for him personally because he's calling out Teofimo, and I think from revenue standpoint, I think that's the most lucrative fight that he can target.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah. So he's kind of like he's already putting forth the marketing plan. Like, hey man, come avenge your loss, get your revenge. You know, the rematch, and then Teofimo's a champion, so you have that part as well. So I think that's the best fight to go for. But I'm with you. I don't think, in my personal opinion, I definitely don't think he beats Liam Paro, who's his countryman, right? I think Liam Paro beats the hell out of him. I think Alberto Puello's a terrible matchup stylistically for Kambosos. I think that's a good fight, but I think Rayo beats him. And I think Teofimo wins the rematch as well.
I think anybody who could box, stick and move, beats Kambosos.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
I'm not getting from 135 to 140. It doesn't matter. What Devin Haney did to him.
Now that you mentioned,
I'm not a huge Devin Haney fan, but he peppered that dude up.
Yeah.
That's not changing, no matter who.
Right.
Now that you mentioned Jermaine Ortiz, that's a very winnable fight for Jermaine Ortiz, and it can bring his brand up big time because he beat the guy that beat the guy.
Yeah,
hey.
I'll probably be a little bit of bias, but I mean, like, that's an easy win for Jermaine in my eyes.
Yep.
I don't know about easy, but I still have Jermaine winning.
I got Jermaine winning as well. Now, I do have a question though. Like, so even though I think we all in agreement that it'll be hard for him at 140. But I just don't know. Like he just coming off a loss at 135 with Lomachenko by stoppage, right at 11th round, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like at this, if he stays at 135, I think he'll lose interest. Like I don't think anybody would be too intrigued about him doing something. But at 140, at least you could be like, okay, it's a new weight. You know what I'm saying? I was drained. I'm gonna be better now. I'm be sharper. I'm be faster. You know, I'm still hungry. Like I feel like. Just from a marketing standpoint and galvanizing his fan base, like you give somebody, even if it's false, you can give somebody something to reach on. Like, okay, bet maybe he will be better at 140. But yeah, I don't think. I think even the contenders like Jack Catterall, I think Jack Catterall beats him. Richardson Hitchens and him will be interesting. Yeah, Andy Hiroko, I think Andy Hiroko be, but that'd be good though. He could be a good resume builder for Andy Hiroko because his best win right now is Ishmael Barroso, and that's a good win, but it's still, you know, they call him Old Man Barroso for a reason. So I think that'd be a good, yeah.
I would fight Barroso.
Boy, got some heavy hands, man.
He's ancient, man. That dude got some pharaoh power.
You said he got some pharaoh powers? That's crazy. He coming in with King Tut powers. It's crazy.
He's weighing in at 140 pounds at 140 people. You know what I mean?
Right. We're losing you. We're losing you, TMP.
Yeah, my bad.
No, you good. No, you good, bro. Okay,
gonna,
it's much better. We hear you much better now.
All right, yeah. Out of the top 10, he's got at 140, his best shot is Gio. You know, because he already got his number.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. You could kick it like, oh, I already beat him, so you know what I'm saying. We got to at least give him some. We gotta give him credit for that. You know, he's not going in there naked. Yeah. So
I like Kambosos. I think he's a good dude. Good boxer. But yeah, his best shot is Gio, in my opinion. Other than that, it's probably just. No disrespect to Regis, but he'll just be like a Regis resume builder at this point.
I forgot about Regis. I forgot. That's a good fight too. Like there's,
That's a good fight.
Yeah, bro. 140, man. Oscar, you're right, bro. Oscar, you're right, bro. 140 is which I agree with you, but I didn't think about it that much. You're right. That 140 is hot. You're right about that. It's piping.
Yo, I'm pulling up to school right now, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll hop on another chat today.
All right, man. Yes, sir, man. Yeah, man. We we do the late show, man. So it was a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks for calling in, man, for the first time, man. Shout out to TMP.
What time we got the late show?
7 p.m. Eastern time.
All right, catch you later.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate it, bro. You be easy, bro. Stay safe. Yeah, God bless. Yes, sir.
See you later, man.
Smoochie says she's snitching. Smoochie funny. Shout out to Smoochie. Now, I need that because it helps keep me honest. Sometimes I forget, you know. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to TMP, man. Shout out to Oscar for always pulling up as well, man. My guy.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man, I think that y'all made some good points, man. I think, like I said, I think Kambosos, which we all agree upon, is that he's very serviceable. He's still serviceable. It's just, you know, now like you said, I think you said it, or maybe TMP said it. I think y'all both said it, like his aspirations to be unified or undisputed or something like that, are slim to none. But there's a lot of things you could do between. Like we gotta stop acting like boxing is the only sport, and I think Andre Ward said this, man. He said, rest in peace, Kobe. He said, Kobe has a bad night. It's okay. You just forget, and he comes back and does it again. But if I have a bad night, everybody questions my my whole career. So, but it is different, though. You know, it's one time, so you're not playing as much, you know what I'm saying, as basketball and stuff like that. And every fight matters. It's more at stake. So it's kind of like what he's saying. We understand it, and he's right. But at the same time, it's like football, too, right? So football, they only have 16 games every week. Their game is more impactful, more meaningful than the one game of the 82 games in Kobe Bryant's season as well. So it's not just something that's on behalf of boxing, but boxing, number one, it's a fighting sport, it's combat. So yeah, it is going to have more space. But you can have a bad night too. So, huh?
So I'm going to add to that. Dak Prescott.
Yep.
That guy has had a good night since forever, and he just became the most valuable player. Like
right.
You know?
Right. So
but,
I do agree with that.
Dude, like now that I think about it, I want to see Kambosos against Jermaine Ortiz.
You feel me? A lot of fights.
Jermaine Ortiz beat Tio, but he got robbed of that victory. If he would have done 1-2 more punches between rounds, he would have taken that fight. But just because he was just trying to finesse boxing, he didn't take it.
Right.
Which I ain't mad about it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's still a robbery.
Yep.
Now, Kambosos beat Tio. Jermaine supposedly beat Tio. If he beats the guy that beat the guy, he can get a shot at Tio. Now, do I think Tio takes it? Hell no. Tio be like, nah, he'd be like, this guy beat me, I don't want him. This guy beat me, but give me the decision, I don't want him.
He don't want no smoke. Right. Oh, but I'm glad. So I forgot to let me finish my thought. That's what I was going to say. We need to stop acting when I brought in like NBA players and stuff like that, and one night judge your whole career, like what Andre Ward said. I think that we as boxer fans need to stop acting like boxers aren't valuable if they're not a champion or undisputed or unified, because there's a whole lot of boxing between undisputed and unified, say that can be had. Like, so I think that, even though Kambosos, I don't think a championship is his future. Number one, I don't know, but I don't think, but that doesn't mean that he's not a serviceable fighter. Like, you could be you could be a role player as a boxer. His role is to, determine, whether or not guys like Andy Hiroka is really worth the hype. I'm not saying that he's hype, but I'm saying really worth what we think he's worth, so a proving ground, a testing fighter. So yeah, man, I think that, and I'm not diminishing him just to that, but I don't think that he could be a champion at 140, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't belong or it shouldn't be up there as an intriguing fighter still.
You want me to give you the perfect example?
What's that?
Johan Vasquez.
Exactly. Look how we just tested. Abdullah Mason. Right.
Yeah, that's a perfect example.
Right.
Every time he comes in top rank and I see that red shitty ass haircut, I'm like, all right, yes.
He got the booty haircut. He got the booty on the back of his head. What they call that, yellow beezy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my
that's
gosh.
Kambosos can be, and I mean it's bad because his stock could be down, but it's also not bad because he still be fighting. He's still an interested fighter. We still watch him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not only that, look at the people he lost to. Devin Haney and Loma. That's not bad losses at all.
Exactly. Yep. He only. I mean, he has the same amount of losses as Lomachenko. It's just one of his losses were Lomachenko, and then the other two were the same person, Devin Haney. So it's not like he's getting smothered out.
More accomplishment in Loma.
Oh, here you go. Oh, here we go. He about to get me canceled, chat. Don't get. I agree with him though. All right, man. Well, I don't know if I agree with that part, because I think he might be more accomplished at 135 than Loma, but Loma's a 3-division champion, right?
Yeah, 135.
Yeah, I give him that.
Yeah, 3 division.
3 division, yeah. Give George a tune up at 140, let him be Liam Pauls. Ty said give George a tune up at 140, then let him be Liam Pauls' homecoming title defense in Australia. Yeah, but so he's supposed to be fighting Jermaine Matthew in February, good Lord willing, in Australia, Ty. So that's been announced already. We'll see if it actually gets finalized, but
you know what's crazy, bro? Now that Kambosos went up, be ready, cat. Tank haters are gonna be on top.
Can you say that one more time? Who's gonna be on top?
Now that Kambosos went up, be ready, cat. Tank haters are gonna be up.
Oh yeah.
Now that they're gonna be like, well, Pitbull went up, Haney went up.
Come on,
Shakur's presumably gonna go up.
That goes back to body types again, that goes back to body types of weight divisions for a reason, you know what I'm saying? It's so funny that people will say like Tank is 30, but then also not acknowledge that if you're 30, you're probably done growing, bro. So because somebody else is not saying Kambosos, but like let's say like Haney and all these other guys who are bigger and fill out more as they get older, who are younger than him, of course makes more sense for them to move up. He's not going to keep moving up. Like Kambosos, he's moving up out of essentially necessity. He's not. I don't know. I don't think he's moving up because he can't make the weight. I think he's moving up because it's probably more comfortable. As you get older, it's less comfortable making weight. One, but two, he can kind of like rebuild himself. Reinvent himself. So at least as we might, at least as far as interest goes in the eyes of the public. So Tank is on top. He don't need to reinvent himself. But I would like to see him go to 142, though. With that being said, I want to be mad, but at the same time, it's like he's only one, so let him. I mean, he's only one champion, or one. He only has one belt, so let him unify. Let Junto unify. Let what's the other guy? Bam Rodriguez unify. Let Japataya unify. If we start talking about going to heavyweight, what I'm talking about, especially now that he has another guy that's unified, like Gilberto Ramirez. Just like Bam had another guy who was unified, like Fernando Martinez, until he vacated Which one he vacated again? The IBF?
Yeah.
Yeah, he vacated the IBF so he could sidestep his mandatory and fight Kazuto Ioka again. Not that he was ducking from his mandatory, but because Kazuto Ioka is a more lucrative fight. And yes, fighters fight for money, you know, even though we don't like to say that for some odd reason. They do fight for money, and there's nothing wrong with that. So you could fight for money and legacy simultaneously.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
Yep. He said, "Don't feed George to Jermaine." Like I said, I think that's good. It's interesting though, right? Because like me and Oscar were saying earlier, they both have a lot of commonalities in as far as their records go, right? They both fought Tio, and both were controversial. George came on the winning end of that controversy. Jermaine came on the losing end of that controversy, and they both fought Loma, and they both lost to Loma. You know, It's so funny because their dealings with Tio, George was the better of the two between him and Jermaine and Tio. But then goes to Loma. Jermaine was the better of the two because Jermaine went the distance, and some people thought Jermaine could have won. But with Loma knocked the hell out of George in the 11th round, right? He stopped him with a body shot. So it's just funny. Like I said, that's very intriguing. You know, you could build that fight up. That's a very intriguing matchup, Jermaine Ortiz and George Kambosos. Especially like you said too, Ty. If Paro wins against Hitchens, you could make it a homecoming fight for for Paro against George. Or if he loses, that could be a bounce back fight, like him and George.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some George Kambosos has some interesting possibilities, man. Same with Rolly. Rolly got some interesting possibilities too. People just shit on him because you don't think he's a champion anymore, but bro, there's a lot of fights to be had that aren't championship, unified, or undisputed level fights, bro.
Yep.
It's crazy. Yep. It's crazy, bro. Can you imagine if we only watched basketball for the playoffs or the championship? Like, come on, huh? Well, some people do though. Some people do. To be fair.
That's because them games, they're like 100 something games.
I ain't gonna lie, I be watching all of them. I was just watching hella basketball last night. Hey, man, my bad for not streaming yesterday either, too. I got back home late, and and by the time I got back, I didn't really have anything interesting that I could think of. I almost didn't stream this morning because I didn't want to talk about the coach stuff, but then I felt like it's important for us to tell the truth, man. Like I said, some stuff goes beyond liking somebody and disliking them, and I think what goes beyond liking and disliking somebody is the truth. The truth should be told, man. That shit is whack, bro. Just tell the truth, dog.
No, I agree.
Yeah, that's why I had to.
But all right, man. I'm gonna have to let you go because I'm driving right now.
Okay, bro. Okay, man. I appreciate you coming through, man.
Nah, no problem.
Yes, sir. Drive safely, bro. God bless. That's my guy Oscar right there, man. Shout out to my guy Oscar. Big blessing. My brother, mi hermano. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Chat. About to go ahead and call it then, too, and get me some food in my system. It's getting kind of chilly out here, too. And I'm sorry for those, my brothers and sisters up north. I know Florida cold ain't nothing compared to y'all cold, but. So, my cold ain't nothing. Wait, yeah, my cold is nothing compared to y'all cold. So, so I know me complaining about being cold is, y'all probably like, shut up, P. Shut up, Dara. Yo, abdicating your responsibility out here like a Carver. I'm so mad at you, Carver. Carver don't be showing me no love lately, man. I miss my dog, man. You know, I miss my dog, man. Carver in the building. My responsibility is to have a show. What about your responsibility to tap in and say what's up to me during my show? That's crazy. How you feel about that responsibility? How's about them Steelers Browns games last night? A blizzard out there, yeah, famous, yeah. I don't watch football though, man. I think I told you, some people I told the stream before, but I don't watch football. It's like with the KMMA stuff. Like I don't watch that show anymore. Like I don't, because I feel like like I said, I don't like to knock anything. If I don't watch it, I just won't participate. But I'm not there to gang bang against it or shoot it down or shit on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I still try to respect and show love. You know, I ain't never been no hater. But like what's same with the NFL, like once you do stuff repeatedly, I just be done with it. So ever since the Colin Kaepernick situation, I ain't like the way they handled it and tried to manipulate the man's message. So I stopped watching. I haven't watched football in years. However long ago that was, that's when I stopped watching. So I don't watch football. And that joke, bro, hey, won't be famous. I was hurting though, boy, because I used to play. Not only did I used to play football in high school and stuff like that, but I also used to do fantasy football with the homies. And man, that was rough. Especially too when I was going through school and stuff, because you know Monday Night Football, I'll be in my office doing my research and studying. That's what helped me. That's why I love sports, man, because I can watch a basketball game or football game, whatever it is, boxing, while I'm doing my work and running my simulations and stuff like that, late in the morning or late at night or whatever, because that's when I got the most work done. Because during the day, you know, I taught classes too on campus, so you know, during the day, I had my office hours. People would come for help and stuff like that. So more distractions, people calling and stuff like that. But late at night, man, it'd be quiet, be the only one in the building. I have my sports on. Sometimes I bring my dogs in the building too. Come study with me. What I do, my glove is blue now. Shout to Carmen in the building. What did you do? What don't you do? That's a more appropriate question. It ain't what you did, what you ain't doing. You feel me? My whole Colin Kaepernick situation was handled so poorly by the whole Colin Kaepernick situation was handled so poorly. Yeah, it's like that's the thing. It's kind of like what the reason why I brought up the Cam Mace thing is like with Claressa Shields. It's like it doesn't matter if you like somebody or not. Like whether you agree with what Kaepernick was standing for or kneeling for, more appropriately, that's one thing. But don't change somebody's message and control their narrative, bro. We're all adults. We should be able to express ourselves effectively, and you should be able to respect what somebody's saying. You know, and I, just to put just give a brief synopsis of it, is like whether you agree with his message, he was standing and kneeling and sitting for social injustice and bring attention to that. And this country is built off of protesting, and he protested in a peaceful manner. His demonstration was peaceful. It wasn't extra demonstrative. It wasn't violent. It wasn't loud. It was silent, and he knelt. And so people said that kneeling is disrespectful, right? So I always ask this question, and no one has ever rebutted me in a satisfactory manner or even an appropriate manner, right? Or a logical manner. It's all emotions. When has kneeling ever been considered disrespectful besides the Colin Kaepernick situation? Across cultures, genders, religions, anything. If across species, when a dog kneels, they're submitting to what other dog that they're fighting or whatever. If a person kneels to royalty, when they meet royalty, they kneel. When you propose to your girlfriend, you kneel, right? When you meet somebody, you kneel. When you pray, you kneel. So there's no walk of life where kneeling is disrespectful except for the Colin Kaepernick situation. In fact, the Colin Kaepernick situation, like I said, whether you agree with what his intentions were or not, he even consulted Army veterans, and they have said that. They have spoken up and said on his behalf that he consulted some people, and they advised him to kneel because initially he was sitting, which they said that's disrespectful because like you're too lazy, you don't want to acknowledge it. But when you're kneeling, you're showing respect, but you're also not doing what everybody else is doing in that standing, and you're showing that something bothers you. So there was no way, shape, or form could that demonstration of kneeling in any regard or any walk of life, no matter what culture, gender, age, shape, form, or fashion or species you're from, there's no way kneeling is disrespectful. No way. So the fact that they try to twist and turn and manipulate the man's actions and words as being disrespectful to anything, let alone a flag, is crazy to me. So that's why I stopped watching. Because there's too many. There's nobody standing up for what is right, and the truth is always right. I'm trying to say the man kneeling is disrespectful. How is that disrespectful? If you kneel, you're either submitting, showing the utmost respect, proposing, giving somebody their honors or something like that. But out of nowhere, claim kneeling is wrong. He asked Tim Tebow and folks that was Tebow right. But out of nowhere, kneeling is right. Thank you. I've never seen in any walk of life throughout history where kneeling is considered disrespectful. I've never seen that in my life. So I was like, yeah, I'm good on the NFL. Because the message was clear, what they were saying. The message is that they don't care about social justice or injustice, and that's it. That don't mean, so I still got the homies that watch football. I don't be like, oh, don't turn that off. No, I just do what I feel is best for myself. I don't really, just because I think something is good or best for me doesn't mean it's best for everybody else or good to them. So I just try to control my actions and not judge too many people. if it could be avoided. But yeah, chat, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. We'll be back on. Hold on. My guy Ray's crazy. I'll be back on later for the fight. It's the OTX tournament, the final between Brandon Adams and Andreas Kortzarakis. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but no disrespect. But yeah, I'll be back on for that. You know, we're doing a late show at 7 o'clock anyway. I think it starts at 8. Let me check. So we'll be back on for that regardless. And if it starts earlier, then you know I'll get on earlier. Shout out to Karma for the big member too as well. Shout out to Karma. I just peached that my glove is blue now. Shout out to Karma. That's love. Thank you so much. Shout out to Karma for the big support, man. One time for the ladies. Yeah, man. So thank you so much for the membership as well. Continuing the membership. I think initially it was a gift and you continued it. You didn't have to do that. So thank you. So I think it was a gift from Ryan. Shout out to Ryan as well. Shout out to you for continuing it. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's on the zone at 8 o'clock, so we'll be back on. Dudes don't even stand up for the flag. Style conversation, do all types of things, but they try to draw the line with you. Feel me? Thank you, Ty. You see when people see the national anthem, people still have their conversation. Some people still have their hats on. Some people don't bow their heads, and that's okay. Do what you do, but don't conveniently turn somebody else's actions into one that's disapproval, into one of disapproval because you don't like it and you don't agree with it. Don't manipulate people's words and like, come on, man, that's wrong. Like I said, it goes beyond whether you agree with it or not. But if you disagree, don't try to demonize it because you don't like it or because you disagree. You know, for whatever reason you disagree. But don't manipulate what Buddy was doing. And that's why I stopped liking Drew Brees too. I used to like Drew Brees until Drew Brees came out and said, "Oh, my grandpa fought for the." Shut up, bro. What's that got to do with your grandpa? If anything, you should salute it because what your grandpa fought for is something that's being taken away from the people that Colin Kaepernick was protesting on behalf of. If you want to look at it like that. But like I said, just because you're good at a sport or because you're famous doesn't mean that you're any type of more educated or more smart or more intelligent or even more player than anybody else. You could be lame and rich. You know what I'm talking about? You could be lame and rich. Lame ass. Talking about what your grandpa did. I was about to say something disrespectful towards you and your grandpa. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you talking about. Who knows? The front office is a mess and have a very specific image they want to put forward. We're seeing this shift week to week. I'm telling you, You know, but you know what it doesn't shift from? It doesn't shift from somebody beating on their wife or their fiance or their girlfriend. You know, as long as they're good. As long as they're good, they'll forgive you for that and put you in the league. You know, what was it? Greg Hardy done threw his chick on a bed of. It's not funny. God forgive me for laughing. But he threw her. I'm laughing at that situation. Like, we didn't beat her behind and then threw her on like a bed of guns or something like that and threatened her. He got back in the league. Oh, okay. I thought we had an image to uphold. Like you said, it shifts from week to week. It has little to do with what's right or wrong. It has everything to do with, you know, what they'll tolerate based on their own agendas and what they care about. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And sometimes you got to know yourself too, man, because I do agree. If it was Tom Brady, he wouldn't have been blackballed because Tom Brady's a beast. So Colin Kaepernick, sometimes you got to know. And it's sad. It's sad, though. It's sad, but the truth is, sometimes you got to know what you can do and what you can't do. You know, if Tom Brady would have did that, you know, because he's such a beast and a record breaker and all that stuff, then I don't think he would have been blackballed, whether you agree with him or not. You know, but Colin Kaepernick, you know, he's pretty good, but he ain't that good. They said, hold on, you pretty good, but you ain't that good, brother. We gonna get you up out of here. You going against the grain? Okay, you know. So sometimes you gotta know what you can do and what you can't do, you know. Oh man, I got a slight disagreement with the cap thing, but I'll save it next time you come back on. Okay, I appreciate you, Kent. Yeah, I'm not mad at that, man. Please always speak your mind, bro. And if you can, something like that, please join the Discord if you can. But if you just want to type in the chat, that's cool. I just know sometimes for a back and forth interaction, the chat could be a little slow because I know it's a little delayed. That's a whole new can of worms that would get in. Yeah, facts. Celebrities thinking they can use their status to push politics. Yeah. But that's the thing, though. That's the thing. I know you talking about politics and stuff, but I don't even think like to me. You know what makes me annoys me famous when we mix humanity with politics. Politics is there's nothing political about brutality from those that are supposed to protect and serve. There's nothing political about equality. There's nothing political about fairness. There's nothing political about people being safe in their own skin, and mistreatment of others. Nothing political about that. I think that a lot of people, I'm not talking about you, I'm just spitball. I mean, we're just going down a whole nother, like you said, it's a whole nother topic now. It's like, I think when people say it's political, they're trying to minimize other people's plights because they don't care. I think when people say anything about social justice or injustice or fairness or equality, and they call it political, I think they're trying to minimize and disregard whatever the topic is. There's nothing political about that. That's a humanity issue, not a political issue. It doesn't matter if you're red, blue, or in between. Fairness and equality is important for all walks of life. I should have taken himself to baseball. Dudes don't even get to stand up for the flag, start conversation, do all types of things. Yep. Yeah, try to draw a line. Yep. But yeah, I respect you, Kent. I appreciate you letting me know if you disagree. But yeah, I'm about to go ahead and slide, man. I'm about to go ahead and slide. We'll be back on for the late show. And today we will be watching Brandon Adams in the finals against Andreas Katsarakis for the OTX tournament final at 8 o'clock, man. So I appreciate y'all rocking, man. Shout out to all y'all. Shout out to everybody that came through, especially TMP Boxing for coming through for the first time. And shout out to my brethren, mi hermano, my brother, Oscar Perez, for coming through on the discourse. And he said, Won't Be Famous said, oh yeah, the political lines are being drawn in such strange ways. Yeah, facts. Now it's like if one side takes a certain stance, the other side feels obligated to take the poll. Yep, exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to salute, rest in peace, John McCain and stuff like that. Like I'm more of a liberal when it comes to my ideologies and my stances and stuff like that. But I always respect John McCain because he didn't go across certain lines when certain lines were crossed in regards to things like where President Obama was born or from or what he stands for. You know what I'm saying? They did agree with, even though they have different paths and routes, they still both could agree that their intention was for the betterment of the country. That don't mean you're going to agree on the way you get there, but shout out to, shout out to President Obama, shout out to John McCain and all the other politicians that don't cross unnecessary lines just to demonize their opposition excessively. Did you talk about that goofy shit with the WBA and Jake Paul? Nah, what happened with that? I missed that. What's going on with the WBA and Jake Paul? The World Boxing Association and Jake Paul. What's going on, bro? I missed that. You know what I be thinking about sometimes? I wonder if everybody, and you don't need to know, but I don't even know if I know, to be honest. Does everybody know what the acronyms are in boxing? Like WBA is that World Boxing Association or Administration? I think it's an association. And then IBF is International Boxing Federation, I think. WBO is World Boxing Organization. And WBC is World Boxing Commission or Council. I don't even remember. I know I'm close though. Gilberto Mendoza, president of WBA, is trying to throw Jake a lay. Oh yeah, I talked about that. Yeah. I talked about World Boxing. Okay, I was correct. Appreciate it. I talked about that, Ty. You talking about if you talk about the layup with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. for a made up belt. Yeah, I talked about that. That happened a couple days ago. Unless you're talking about something else. It is council. Appreciate it. Yeah. I always forget. Commission. If you think about commission, doesn't make sense. But then again, they do a lot of stuff that don't make sense. But yeah, that wouldn't make sense. Huh? I mean, the commission themselves, I guess, but not the whole boxing. Definitely not the world boxing. There's so many different commissions. They wouldn't be the only one, is what I'm saying. I mean, but it could still make sense. But yeah, if you talk about Gilberto Mendoza when he said he wants Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. for a belt, you talking about that? If you talk about something else, I don't know. But if you talk about that, yes, yeah, I talked about that. That happened. I think you may have missed that show. I talked about it briefly though, because I thought it was nonsense. He trying to rank Jake Paul at cruiserweight. Yeah, and have him fight and try to have him fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Right or no? Yeah. The ranking. Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about. I think so. That's what he said in like a tweet or something. But if it was more than that tweet, then no, I didn't see it. I didn't see like an interview. I just saw his tweet talking about he wants him and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. to fight for a belt at cruiserweight. What are you talking about, bro? What are we doing? I think maybe we found McCain his next fight. Yeah, because McCain don't want no smoke with Ryan Rozicki, right? Yeah, McCain, he might be stripped, though, because, you know, I'm sure you know this is famous, but, you know, he's supposed to be fighting Ryan Rozicki for the longest. But he kept bowing out, and he just bowed out again. So now the WBA is like, all right, bet Ryan Rozicki's going to fight the number 2 guy, which is Yamil something. I can't remember his name now. But they're going to be fighting for an interim belt. And you know what that means. You can fight for that interim belt, and there's no movement at the top. He's probably going to get stripped, and they're probably going to get elevated, the winner of the number 2 and number 3, which makes sense, man. Noah McCain, I don't know what he got going on. Like, he's scared of that Canadian Ryan Rozicki. I'll tell you that. That's what it looks like. Looks like every time it's this and that, is that and this and that and this. It seems like he's telling a lot of DuckTales. I'll tell you that. But yeah, man. So y'all be easy, man. I'm about to go ahead and call it. Remember, if you enjoy the daily content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel as the notification says right here. Hit that bell, turn on notifications as well as consider becoming a member, starting at $3 a month. Shout out to all the members, you know what I'm talking about. Big Karma in that building, Dr. Karma in that building, and also consider dropping the super chat or hitting the cash app, man. It really helps us to keep going and growing. So I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all on the flip side. Don't forget to smack that like button. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.